Good afternoon to all judges, teachers, and my fellow sales delegates. My name is Tira Sanjana Indran, and I'm a member of the competition segment. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you here this afternoon to SAEYLS 2021 Eco Model Building Competition. I can see that all of you are excited to witness the wonderful designs that will be presented to us later on. But before that, we would like to ask for your cooperation to kindly mute your mics until we cue you to speak. Other than that, please do not spam the Zoom meeting chat box unless you're facing any problems. Without further ado, allow me to introduce our distinguished judges for today's competition. First up, I'd like to introduce our head judge, Mr. Andrew Sebastian, who is a well-regarded environmentalist and sought-after nature bird guide. He is the president, founder, and chief executive officer of Ecotourism and Conservation Society Malaysia. Mr. Andrew, would you like to say something?
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. To all the contestants, participants, to my fellow judges, thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be good. So look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. Next, we have Dr. Zida, who happens to be a member of the Department of Science and Technology Studies at University Malaya. Dr. Zida, would you like to say hi?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Tira, for introducing me. All the best, and we are looking forward to see what you can show us today.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Zida. Last but definitely not least, we would like to introduce Ms. Amalina Arifin, who is the program coordinator of the Young Southeast Asian Leader Initiative. Ms. Amalina, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Tira. Just want to say thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor. Mixing my two favorite passions together in one competition is definitely something that I look forward to. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Amalina. For our supporters' information, the theme of the Eco Model Building Competition is endangered animals. Our participants will be presenting and explaining their creation. Now that we've acknowledged that, let's begin our competition. Let's begin with our first participant competing today, Zaya Iqbal. Let's give her a round of applause.
I'm sorry. Hi, everybody. My name is Ihtea. I am from Mongolia. I'm 16. Now, today I'm going to talk about Mateta, which you guys know by the name Gobi bear. Firstly, I want to introduce Mateta. Here is the scientific classification of Mateta, which is very important. As we can see, it is a mammal. And down there, we can see it is Ursus actus, which means a brown bear. So Mateta's trinomial name is Ursus actus gobiensis. The Gobi bear inhabits the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, and it can be only found in Gobi Desert in Mongolia. And here we can see the picture of Gobi Desert. Mateta is listed as critically endangered by the Mongolian Red Book of Endangered Species and by the Zoological Society of London. Mateta mainly eats roots, berries, and other plants, sometimes rodents. It is, we can see an average length and weight here, and it's actually a small, cute bear. So here are some interesting facts about Gobi bear. Firstly, it is the rarest bear in the world. And secondly, it is actually a carnivore, which means it is a meal. However, due to the habitat, they mostly eat plants. So it can be surprising to some people. And it One thing about Matala is surviving skill. That is very amazing because Gobi Desert is a very harsh environment. There are only 40 bears left in the world, and they're all in Mongolia. Okay, now I'm going to talk about ways to save Matala. Firstly, if you want to save something, then we should know why are they in a threat. So here are the dead reasons. Mostly it was hunted by people since 1940, but it is banned in the last year, so there wasn't any hunting in the last 20 years, which is really good for us. And also there can die naturally or fall in hole, and some reasons are unknown. The Gobi Desert, as I said before, it is a very harsh environment. Food is only minimally available due to their low annual rainfall, which is very low. And drought and the continuing disappearance of water is actually a problem because of illegal mining. Water is very low available in the desert. So here are the main reasons why they are in danger. So now, how we can save Matala? There are ways to save Matala. It is government said, and I thought maybe helping to face climate change can also help Matala because their environment is the main problem these days. And also we can donate in the Gobi Bear project. And yeah. So now it is my favorite part, 3D model. I use only cardboard. As you can see, I haven't used any glue or paint, spray paint or peeling paper. I only used cardboard, and it is 100% eco, I'm sure. And do you know what the other 90% are? It is hard work. It was interesting, but hard to do it. So here are some process pictures. And final pictures of my Matala. I thought that those two pictures look same, so I added this picture. And I added some resources which I've used to make this presentation. And yeah, that was it. And if you want to, then I can show you my Matala. It's right here. Oh, you can't see it because of the background picture maybe. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anzaya. That was an amazing presentation to kickstart our competition. If you don't mind, could you stop screen sharing? All right, thank you. So now I'd like to pass the floor over to Mr. Andrew to get started with the Q&A session.
Hi, thank you very much. That's really interesting, and as it was said by the chairperson, it's a good start to the day. Yeah, excellent. I was trying to guess what was the other 90%, so I can see that. Yeah, good effort, really good effort. Just wanted to ask you. You say the bear is critically endangered in the wild due to mining. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question about the info, not so much your design yet. Yeah, what are people mining? Yeah, What are they mining? Do you know?
Yeah, they are mining, I guess, a lot of things like coal and other
Minerals. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Now, can I ask you about your design? Why did you choose that size of a design? Is it because of the type of cardboard that you use, or the box that you use, or because you thought it's nice, you're following a certain specs?
Yeah, I have used the boxes in my home, and I decided to choose boxes because it is brown, as it can look like a bear. So there is no need of painting.
But why the size? Why the size?
Size, it is, should I show it? It is A3 and 42 centimeters in length and 28 in.
Okay.
Can I ask? Hi Zaya, can I ask how sturdy is the bear? Like if you shake it, will it collapse, or is it very strong?
Oh, it is actually strong. It won't.
Thank you.
Zakia, well done. And it was very interesting to learn something from Mongolia, yeah, because, we have never seen a, Gobi bear before. It's really an interesting learning experience for us as well. Just want to ask, I was really interested to know, you were saying that it was hunted by people before, and that's why it was extinct as well. Do you know why it was hunted?
Because
can you share with us?
Russian researchers hunted it to research, use it as a research.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So only 40 bears left now, yeah? And there's it has to be conserved. Okay. Another question, before I think the other judges have questions as well, but I just want to ask you, you just use cardboard and, 90% of hard work, right? So how do you do that? You use slots, is it? Or you don't use glue? So how do you, assemble the cardboards?
I cut it and how do I say?
Okay.
It actually can be.
I see. So you make slots, is it? Okay, that's quite challenging as well. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to the judges and thank you to Zaya. Just for the judges' information, I want to let you all know that we actually determine the size in the guidelines, which is the length is 42 centimeters and the width is 30 centimeters.
The maximum, right?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much. So moving on to the next participant, which is Elijah Cash Rosales. Take the stage.
Hello? Can I be heard? Thank you. Before I start, a pleasant afternoon to everybody, to the judges, to my fellow contestants, and to the committee. Hi, I'm Cash. I'm Elijah Cash Rosales from the Philippines. You can call me Cash. I go to the Philippine Science High School, Eastern Visayas campus, and I'm 17 years old, and I own 2 dogs. So the animal that I've chosen is this. This is the Pandaka pygmaea, also known as the dwarf pygmy goby or the Philippine goby. According to the IUCN, or the International Union of for the Conservation of Nature, it is now critically endangered. Before we talk about how that happened or what ways we can solve it, let's first get to know the fish. First dates and all. Oh, so let's talk about facts about the Philippine goby. It is one of the smallest fish in the world. It only measures around up to 13 millimeters or 3/8 of an inch. So it's even smaller than my pinky finger. So it's really, really, really small, which makes sense with its name, Pandaka, because Pandaka in my language, Pandaka without the A, Pandak means short or small or dwarf. Moving on, let's talk about how it became so critically endangered. People might think, oh, it's so small that it gets eaten quite easily. Like big fishes will eat it immediately, like, rah, 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 you know? Or it's so small people can see it, so it's probably not there anyway. But no, let's talk about how that happened. So how did it become critically endangered? So this is the Malabon River. It is where it was found. It's its habitat. It's a fresh water of mangroves and brackish water. And back in the 90s, land reclamations happened, and commercial buildings and domestic buildings were built on top of those reclamations. Because of so and so, a lot of pollution started to go through the river. A lot of plastic waste, sludge, and fecal matter went through it. We put two and two together, let's do the math, and a lot of the population of the Pandaka pygmy dwindled. And by 2004, it was considered extinct in its local habitat. Right now, Pandaka pygmy are only found in artificial or domestic settings, artificial tanks, no longer found in their habitat in the Malabon River. So this moves us to our next point. How do we solve this problem? How do we revive this population? My proposal is this. Since we only have domestic animals, domestic specimens of fish, the only way to solve this is through captive breeding and habitat rehabilitation. So with captive breeding, we can control the amount of fishes, we can increase the speed, and we can monitor the fishes exactly so we can see them grow, right? And while doing so, we can revive the habitat through cleaning efforts and such. And because of that, and because of all of that, we can revive the population and reintroduce them to the local habitat so that they may flourish, right? So now, since we're done with all that, I can now talk about my model. So what did I use to make my model? So these are the materials that I used. I used a bunch of old cardboard boxes and old school office papers, recyclable plastic bags, tape, glue, a metal rod that I found while I was jogging, and I used tin cans for scales. So that's the skeleton that I used to essentially make it, right? So these are the pictures of the final product. So this is my model. This is the Pandaka pygmea made of cardboard, tape, and tin cans. So the outside was made from tin cans that I embossed with a pen. These are other shots of it. This is a back shot, a shot from the back. Ooh, it looks like it's swimming. I used a television for the background. That's why it looks so blue. This is another one. This is a more clear shot of it, full length. Yeah. And this is a shot of it. I think it looks artsy. I think it looks cute. So I put this in. And this one, it's like a golden ratio shot that I did. Very chic. And back to the shot, because I really like this shot. And yeah, before I end my presentation, I forgot to show you the dimensions. It's around 45, which is the maximum, and 23 cm. But before I end though, I really had fun making this. Chicken. I really had fun making this model, and I really learned a lot, and it really opened my eyes that the trash that could have ended up somehow in that river that could have continued killing the fish, somehow instead was used to make this. Instead of killing it, it would have saved it by raising awareness. So I think that's beautiful, and I just yeah. I just really had fun making this, and it really opened my eyes to how much trash we make and how we should be aware of what we do with it. Thank you.
Thank you so yeah. Thank you so much, Elijah. You were brilliant. Could you please stop sharing screen?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
How do I? Sorry, I'm pretty dumb.
Yeah, got it? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I will now give the floor to Dr. Zida in order to start the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking that Andrew would start first. Okay, thank you so much, Elijah. Had fun listening to you. It's interesting to listen about the smallest fish in the Philippines. You call it it's pandaka. It's small. We have the word in Malay pende. And it's quite similar in that sense. It's interesting to hear about your suggestion about how we can help to save this pandaka pygmy. Do you know of any efforts that is currently in place in the Philippines at the moment in undertaking such efforts? If you can share with us.
Actually, that is why I chose this animal, because despite it being an icon in the country, it has been on stamps, it has been on it's been money. I have seen little to no conservation efforts for it. In fact, there's little to no research on it. The last research that I found was way back in 2004. That was when I was born. So that's why I chose this animal, to raise more awareness of it. Yes, exactly. Because it needs more conservation. It might be a small fish, but even the smallest fish can have the biggest impacts on ecosystems, right? Even a tiny algae, a tiny plant can have the biggest impact. So it really must be brought to attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Elijah. Tira, I think I leave it to the other judges now.
Yeah. All right, does any other judges have questions to ask the participant?
Do you have the model with you?
Oh, yes, I have it in the back here. Let me take it. Here it is. Oh, yeah, my fish.
I see, and I'm just wondering, so the silver part is do you spray paint them or do you use
what? Oh
foil?
no, it's tin cans, aluminum cans, soft drink cans, right? So the inside is silver, right? So I did the inside, then I embossed them to look like scales. It actually moves, look, like the fish. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Andrew?
Elijah, excellent work.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've done a lot of research, I can see. Yeah, and I think it's good that we try to spur some research attention to this interesting creature. Yeah, and out of curiosity, what is the smallest fish in the world? Do you know?
Oh, actually, this is one of it. It's actually, there are 5 smallest fishes considered. It really depends on what you're talking about. It depends on maturity or but among the 5, this is one of the smallest fish. Thank you. Sorry.
How long did it take you? Okay, my final question. How long did it take you to prepare your model?
So actually, I did multiple takes, because I started one, but I changed my mind. So this one specifically took me around 2 weeks to make, and for research, a week or so. Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah, and thank you to the judges. I just want to let the participants know that you can actually minimize the videos while you're sharing screen so that the black box doesn't appear on your presentation. All right, okay, thank you everyone. So next, let us welcome Himasri K. You can start your presentation now.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, is my screen shared?
Oh, you're lagging a little. Are you okay?
Okay, now am I clear?
Yeah, you are. Don't forget to present in full screen.
Oh, Vanakkam. Hello everyone, I'm Himasri. I'm studying in Madhugandapalli Model School, Horseshoe. It's a place in Tamil Nadu, and I'm from India. So I would like to give a hint of my model. So if size mattered, then that animal would be the king of the jungle. It's none other than elephant. So I chose Asian elephant as a model. So let's see what the story behind the Asian elephant is. Asian elephant plays a vital role in maintaining ecological balance and have a positive influence on the growth of numerous plants and animal species that share their habitat. So these elephants are distributed throughout the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. So Asian elephants are also called as Asiatic elephants. But days later, the numbers started decreasing and considered as endangered according to IUCN Red List, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature. So let's see what what are the reasons for their extinction are. The first thing is poisoning. They intake cyanobacteria, that's an toxic bacteria, which can naturally occur on standing water and can even grow into large blooms. And they are also called as blue-green algae. Then the next is poaching. No, like people poach elephants mainly for ivory trade. This has been stopped, but still it is happening illegal. The next is electrocution. The fences are being deliberately electrocuted with high voltage electric charges, and sometimes elephants, they themselves hit electric poles and transformers. And electrocution is the major cause for their extinction too. And then the train accidents. Elephants are being hit by trains on the 2 railway lines in Southern Railways and other forest divisions. So in order to protect elephants from train accidents, immediate action in the sense, they can alert railways to stop elephants from extinction. So there are some of the other factors which affect elephants. Those are habitat loss, fragmentation, and degradation. These are the other factors which affect elephants, which are driven by expanding human population, and increasing human population is for they need for more fuel, wood, and timber. Illegal timber extraction plays a significant role in deforestation and habitat degradation. As a result of a shrinking habitat, elephants have become more and more prone to coming into direct contact with the humans, where humans and elephants both get affected. So here are some of the ways to protect elephants from extinction. Prevent illegal killing. As I said, people kill elephants for ivory trade, and which has to be stopped. And the next is protect elephant habitat. We have to stop deforestation, as said earlier, habitat loss and fragmentation to protect elephant habitat. Reduce ivory trafficking. Stopping ivory trade can reduce the ivory trafficking and reduce the demand for ivory. The same as said earlier. This is what ivory trade happening in India, and this is the act this is Indian Wildlife Protection Act that banned domestic sale of ivory and products in 1986. But still, no, people don't realize to do it, and they just take it careless, and it's a business now, which is happening. So to protect elephants and to protect them from extinction, I have made a beautiful model. So let's see what's the thing I've done. So these are the materials I have used. I have used glue, I have used paper tapes, and blade, glue, scissors, and some brushes for applying glue, and waste cloth and jute. So this is the base of my model. So I have used cardboards for making the base. The reason for why I choose carbon is that these are made out of renewable raw materials and they are eco-friendly too. And here for the elephant model, I have used waste papers. Now they include waste calendars, waste papers and written papers and other waste materials which I had in my home. So I have crushed all those papers to bring out good shape and structure to the model. And then I have covered the model with masking tape. It is also called as paper tape, which itself is made out of waste materials. And one strip of paper tape is equal to 3 strips of plastic tapes. And it is so useful too. And then I have covered this with some waste white papers to bring out good shape and not to avoid those ups and downs. Here I have reused the carbon papers to bring out a good color as of to look like an elephant. These are carbon papers which are used already. Sometimes they use for printing papers, and once it is used, it is waste. After that, we cannot reuse that again. So I have used here for the upper shape, and this is my final model. And this too with a full model, and this one. I hope it looks beautiful. And this is the measurement where the length is 40 centimeter and the width is 32 centimeter as per mentioned in the guidelines. So I would like to conclude that wildlife plays a vital role in ecological balance, and it helps to stop and our support can help to stop these senseless crimes. And so let us all unite together and realize ourselves to protect elephants and animals from extinction. So thank you. This is all about my model, my presentation. So thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity. I thank the committee members and who have supported me to participate here. And a special thanks to my school for selecting me to participate in this event. I hope everyone are safe at your homes. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hema. You were amazing. What do you think, Miss Amalina?
Yeah, well, I also want to note that you look very beautiful in your sari. So really appreciate the effort that you went through.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just as beautiful as your model as well. I have a question, if you don't mind, a little bit about the sort of the solutions that you provided. I noticed that you provided a lot of factors as to what the problems are, which are like, poisoning, poaching, electrocution. But the solutions provided is something a bit more specific to ivory. And, you talked about it being law. Do you have any other solutions for the different factors such as poisoning, electrocution, habitat loss, fragmentation, deforestation?
Okay, so poisoning and all, as I said, it actually forms in a standing water. What like people can either the government can take some steps to prevent those. Like they can clear the water on the upper part so that like when elephants drink those water, it won't harm them. Most. That's what I think. And it's according to my opinion.
Thank you. And other judges, over to you guys.
Okay, I'll go, if you don't mind. The images that you use in your presentation, the deforestation images, are those images taken from in India itself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Excellent. And on your model, what did you use for the eye?
Same, the papers. I have,
paper.
for that orange color, for the orange one, I have used the calendar papers.
Ah, it's like the paper, right?
I
Okay.
have a model. I would like to show that. This is my model.
Oh, okay. How heavy is it?
This
Did
one,
you
oh,
weigh?
it's not so lighter and not so heavier. It's medium.
Okay. Now now elephants hold a special place in religious customs and beliefs, especially in India. Yeah. Could this
And
be one of the
temples.
reasons why we can? Is this something that we can use the religious approach to try to get the elephants protected better? Do you think?
Of course, we can adopt elephants, no, in their baby, and we can, no, send them to temples which are used in for, or like then, how to say, like um, they worship elephants in temples.
Right. That's all for me, Zira.
All right. Thank you, Hemastri, for your presentation. Yeah, I want to, agree with Amalina. You look beautiful today with the sari. I just want to ask. You also use jute, yeah, as one of your material. Where has it been used? Probably, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I have used jute for the tail.
Oh,
To
I see.
easily
Where is
move.
it? See? Oh, I see. But it has been covered.
Tail.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. You're saying that you come from Tamil Nadu?
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, yeah. Okay, from Tamil Nadu. How is the situation of the elephant conservation there? Are there specific issue in Tamil Nadu that you know?
Okay. Earlier, in 2009 or the before period, that was more severe, and now it has been decreased as per my survey. And so I think government is taking steps, but people are not realizing that. They just see for money and business. They poach elephants for ivory, especially.
Especially, yeah. Okay, yeah. So hopefully the situation will improve in the future, yeah.
Yeah, I hope, and we hope.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to the judges and thank you, Hema. Now, please welcome the next participant, Harshan Dev Adnan. The stage is yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Darshan. I'm from KL, Malaysia. SMK Amiduddin Baki. I'm 16 and today I'm going to present to you about African elephants. So, firstly, instantly recognized around the world thanks to their trunks and tusks, elephants are the world's largest land animals. So African elephants are the biggest of the bunch, weighing up to 6 tons, while small elephants can scale about 5 tons. So female elephants are social animals living in herds with their relatives. Males usually live alone, but sometimes with groups with other males. So elephants need a lot of space because they need to find food and enough water to sustain.
Sorry, Tarshan. Sorry to interrupt, but could you speak closer to the mic because we can't really hear you.
Can I continue?
Yep, I think we can hear you now.
So, as I said, elephants need a lot of space, sometimes roaming over some areas because they need food and water to sustain their lives. So, but then the habitats of elephants are shrinking. African elephants has declined by over 50% since 1979, while Asian elephants are now restricted to just 15% of their original range. So, why are elephants considered endangered? So, with only 10,000 to 25,000 left in the wild, the species is classified as endangered. And it is critical to conserve African elephants, since they play such a vital role in our ecosystem in contributing tourism, community incomes in many areas. So one of the main reasons African elephants become extinct is because of poachers hunting them for their ivory. So it is become illegal. It is illegal for poachers to hunt them, but it doesn't stop them from hunting it so that they can make money, thousands of money, by doing creations like piano keys, decorations, and stuff like that. So removing an ivory from an elephant almost definitely most of the time kills the elephant itself. So that's not a good thing. All right. So how can we prevent elephants from being endangered? How can we prevent elephants from being extinct? So first, we can prevent illegal killing. Illegal hunting to feed ivory trade is an enormous threat, with some 100,000 elephants across Africa killed illegally between 2010 and 2012. Secondly, we can protect elephant habitat. So the forest belongs to elephants and that's their home. So by, cutting down forests will affect their habitat, which is not good. And also the elephants may come to the streets and it may harm the local community as well. So third, we can support conservation efforts. So we can support organizations that are actively committed to this elephant preservation, like International Elephant Protection and African Wildlife Foundation. So last but not least, we can also reduce the demand for ivory. The elephant ivory trade not only threatens the survival of elephants, but also cause broader ecological endangerment and also endangers the lives, as I said before this, of the local community and undermines national security. So going to my 3D model, I've used certain materials to make my 3D model. So I've used plastic bottle caps, glue, string roll, paper plate, and tissue paper to make the trunk. So here is my finished eco model. So as you can see, I've used the string roll to connect the tissue rolls to make it as a trunk. And I've used the bottle caps to make it as an eye and the paper plates as the ear. So yeah, here is the measurement as given in the guidelines. The width is 30 cm and the length is 42 cm. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tarshan. You're amazing. Allow me to pass the floor over to Mr. Andrew to get started with the Q&A session.
Thank you, Tarshan. Thank you. Good presentation. I do tours into Africa, especially in Uganda. And the African elephants are one of my favorites, of course. Yeah, people like to photograph. We can get quite close, yeah, with the jeep and so on. Yeah. So unfortunately, I got a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then I'll narrow it down to two. Yeah. So first and foremost, do you know how many species there are in the world, elephants?
I'm not really sure on the total amount of species, but definitely it's decreasing.
Okay, total number. Okay. Now you said that the removal of the tusk will certainly kill the elephant. That's not quite true, yeah. The removal of the tusk does not really kill it, but it does impede its way to how it defends itself, yeah, how it takes down trees and so on, yeah. So not directly, yeah, it's like that. Just wanted to share my thoughts with you on that, yeah. Now, and you said, and you narrowed down the artists. You said the artists are people to be blamed because they are buying all this ivory, you know, to be turned. You know, is there anybody else that you would like to blame instead of just artists? You know, who's trying?
I don't think I mentioned artists being blamed in the presentation. I think I said that the people that you know, harm the elephants by taking their ivory.
Okay, fine. So yeah, sorry, that's all from me. Thank you, but good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tarshan, Congratulations, good presentation. I'm just wondering, why do you choose African elephant instead of Asian elephant? Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, because I think since all of us live in Asia, African elephants might be neglected a bit. And yeah, that's my reasons why I chose African elephants.
I see. Is the situation for African
Yeah,
elephant and is much more severe than Asian elephant, you think?
definitely, certainly. Yes.
Okay, all right. Another question on your model, yeah. Why is there a particular reason why you have chosen plastic bottles and bottle caps? Just wondering.
Not any reasons. Basically, I just had plastic bottles at home, which I could use. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
All
the
right.
reason.
So there's no particular reason for it,
Yeah.
yeah? Because you just found it in your house. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Dr. Zida, you questioned the question that I wanted to ask. So thank you. No questions from me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much to the judges, and thank you, Tarshan. Moving on, we have Kuwirapat Chai Tai Song. You may begin.
You can see the screen, right?
Yep, I can see the screen. Is your yeah? Thank you so much.
This is Emwood's Eco Model project. Gurney's Pitta, the most wanted bird in Thailand. First, I want to introduce myself. I'm Kuwirapat Chai Tai Song. You can call me Ki as my nickname. I'm from Thailand, Mahidol Song School, or Emwood in short. I'm a 12th grader. I'm 17 years old. I'm now living in Bangkok. And for my fun facts, I'm very into basketball and hip hop music.
Once thought to be lost forever, the Gurney Pitta has dodged extinction several times over the decades.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
It's
in 1986.
Is the clip audio? You hear the clip audio?
Sorry, Miss Amalina, but it's okay for me. Mr. Andrew and Dr. Zida, is it okay for you?
It's quite vague. I know it's a video, but yeah, can't really hear the sound.
Oh, all right.
So I just want to show some footage of the bird. So it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Civil unrest within the final stronghold of the range. Deforestation, hunting, and poaching could increase rates of habitat loss and push the species to critically endangered. Without slowing this decline through habitat protection, Gurney Pitta may disappear from the world as it had, except this time there will be no second chance.
At first, the model was designed to be composing of recyclable materials such as paper, cardboard, tins, tin foil, aluminum sheets, plastic bottles, thread, string, and pins. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic situation, the list of materials are adjusted to fit the availability of stuffs in my house. For the basic info of Gurney's Pitta, or Hydronis gurney in binomial, is a medium-sized passerine bird with a size of 21 to 22 centimeters. It breeds on the Malay Peninsula with a majority of its population in Myanmar. Slugs, insects, and earthworms make up its food. The species are also distributed in the southern of Thailand in the area of Khao Pra Bangkham Wildlife Sanctuary, located in Khao Bantat Forest of Krabi Province, Thailand. To identify whether or not the bird in front of you is Gurney's Pitta, here are some of its unique appearance. The male has a blue crown and black-yellow underparts, with the remainder of the head is black and the upper parts are warm brown. For the female, it has buffy, reddish underbelly and a brown crown. For the knot actually is a fun fact. Gurney's Pitta was initially thought to be extinct for some time after 1952, but was rediscovered in 1986. Widespread forest clearance is the main factor of its endangered status, particularly for commercial oil palm plantations. Interesting stat is that more than 4,000 square kilometers of forest have been given over to oil palm businesses, with much of it stripped of natural vegetation. There are still ways to conserve this cute little colorful bird. For instance, local parties such as the government, forest agencies, and civil society groups are in agreement that saving it from extinction is critical. And stop any large-scale plantation growth in the Lenya and Megawan Reserve Forest, which is the major habitat and other wildlife sanctuary, is another measure to be done urgently. Turning to our eco model, the materials used in the project are plastic bags with blue, yellow, and black color, cardboards from too much online shopping, and a roll of duct tape. First, construct the bird's body, legs, head, wings, and beak by cutting cardboards into shapes. And next up, put the duct tape to join them together. And last but not least, slice the plastic bags into cardboard fitted pieces and let duct tape do its job. And our model is done. For the size, the model is about 30 centimeters wide and 40 centimeters long. These are the references. No, it's our model. Sorry. This is a full picture of our model. You can see the wings and the color of its black accent and yellow in the side, and the back part of the head is blue. Okay. These are the references for Gurney's Pitta information. Once in a lifetime, if you happen to see a little bird with black accents and blue-yellow color with a cute belly, I'm sure that the end of the rainbow is right next to you. Thank you very much for all of your attention. May the luck be with you and me also. Peace out.
Thank you so much, Geer. Your design was amazing. To proceed, I'll pass the floor over to Dr. Zida to start the Q&A session.
Right, Ki, thank you so much for your presentation. Wonderful. And it's a beautiful bird, yeah? I'm just wondering, do you go bird watching? Is that the reason why you choose a bird?
No. The reason why we choose this bird because it also related to the skit. It also appeared in the skit of my friend in the Eco Skit won another competition.
Oh, Eco Skit? Oh,
yeah.
What's that?
So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's the reason.
Okay, but do you have any particular interest in this bird that you find fascinating compared to other birds?
Because mainly because it's colorful and cute, and also it's extremely in the potential to be endangered. So we shout out to the bird. Yeah, let's conserve them.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ki. I think Andrew has more questions. He's a bird watcher, I think. Okay.
Amalina first. We're following a. Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah, I do bird watching tours almost around the world. I am sad to say I've not seen a Gurney's Pitta yet. It's one of the rarest ones, especially in our region. Yeah, but we know where to find it. And thank you for identifying the site and spot for it. As for the model, is it possible for you to show us?
Yes.
I couldn't really see the model itself.
Let me disable the background first. Okay. Yeah, this is the model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, its wings can also resemble flying. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. So now, do you feel that you should go and see this bird, or try to attempt to get to Krabi and try to see it yourself?
After COVID pandemic.
Okay, but thank you for highlighting this. This is one of the most sought after birds in Southeast Asia. Yeah, people travel around the world especially, and they target Thailand because of this bird. Yeah, this is one of the very rare ones, and you're right, it's one of the most beautiful pittas around the world. Yeah, thank you for showcasing that to us. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you.
I guess I have one short question. Like when you say they are the most wanted bird, apologize for my ignorance also, but I'm not very well versed in bird knowledge. But like when you say they are most wanted, are they hunted for it, or are they like they're most wanted because people just want to see them?
Yeah, because it's like so endangered is that the maximum of the numbers of the birds are like 10 to 12 pairs at one location. So by saying it's the most wanted, it means that the bird watchers are like very want to see the real one, like one or pair of them. So they're not hunting them. They just want to see the bird.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Guy, and thank you, judges. Next, I'd like to call upon. Sorry.
I said thank you in Thai.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Guy. Okay, moving on. I would like to call upon the next participant, Sufia Wahida binti Shahidsan. Good luck.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can. Don't forget to present it in full screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Sufia Wahida binti Shahidsan. I'm the representative of my school and I'm from Malaysia. I'm 70 years old. And for today's SAEYLS Eco Modeling Competition, the animal I've chosen is the living fossil, or should I say the horseshoe crab, or to be specific, Tachypleus tridentis. Tachypleus tridentis, commonly known as the Chinese horseshoe crab, Japanese horseshoe crab, or tri-spine horseshoe crab, is a species of horseshoe crab found in the southeast and east of Asia, with record from China, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, Taiwan, the Philippines, and also Vietnam. As you can see in the picture, this is Tachypleus tridentis. Fun fact, it is called the living fossil because it was thought to have been walking on Earth since 415 million years ago. And although it is called crab, it is actually more related to the arachnid family than the crab itself. But back at the topic at hand, as of 2019, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the IUN, classified this species as endangered based on recent population and habitat decline. But back in 1996, it is actually considered as data deficient, which we can interpret that they have been endangered since then, but we just don't know about it. They can live for about 20 years, and we can find them around the sand and mudflat for the juveniles, and sea bottom of 20 to 30 meters in depth for the adults. The female can lay between 60,000 and 120,000 eggs in batches of 2,000. This may seem a lot. However, the survival rate of a horseshoe crab in its first year is only 1 in 10,000. This is caused because other animals actually eat their eggs. Okay, the reason as to why this animal is considered endangered, first and foremost, it is because the high demand of horseshoe crab blood. Only horseshoe crab blood contain a blood clotting agent, and for this tri-spine horseshoe crab case, it is called Tachypleus ameboxide lysate, or TAL, which clothes in the presence of certain group of bacteria. These bacteria are difficult to detect by other means, which in return make them high in demand for biomedical purposes. Because of the high copper in their blood, it is actually blue in color. Next, it is because of overfishing for human consumption. Horseshoe crab is considered as delicacy in certain places such as Taiwan and Malaysia, although there's not a lot to eat from the horseshoe crab itself, because there's also actually myth about how they are good for health, although it is not medically proven. It stays on as delicacy. And third, the habitat loss. A high level of habitat destruction was commonly indicated across the habitat. This may be caused by human invention in creating houses around the beaches, which actually destroys their natural habitat. So today's, I'm going to bring, there's a lot of ways for us to overcome and protect this animal. And today's, I will present to you 6 of the solutions. Number 1, the conservation program. In 2021, the HCSG has initiated the Asian Horseshoe Crab Observation Network. This is to observe its baseline, and this shows that more people are gradually getting interested in the declining number of this population. Second, the release program. There are already releasing programs organized by government and research institutes. This is because certain places used to have a lot of them, but now they are dwindling in number. So next, for the individual, if there's by any chances at all, you guys see these animals at the beach, on its back, gently pick it up, holding both sides of the shell, but never the tail because you might harm them, and then releases it back into the water. This simple action can actually save them, and now you're their hero. Fourth solution is declaring this animal as protected animal. Trashman horseshoe crab is legally protected by Bangladesh, Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam, India, and specific provinces or regions in mainland China and Japan. And then there's for the conservation management option. We should prioritize the restoration and enhancement of the destructed habitat so that we can release them back into their natural habitats. And then lastly, for the ecologically sound management option. We can close certain coastal areas during horseshoe crab peak spawning period and regulating artisanal bivouac aquaculture and beachcombing activities within their critical nursery ground. This is to prevent illegal hunt and also protecting them during their egg laying period. So I try to make this as recycle. So I only use paper, watercolor, and tape. I got this idea from TikTok, which I saw she did it making mushrooms, so I did it to make this horseshoe crab. I soak the paper in water and then create this. The orange is actually indication of the eggs. So the width is 21 cm and also the length is 30 cm. I hope I got to keep you guys' eyes on me throughout this presentation. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. You were fantastic. What do you think, Ms. Amalina?
Hi, Sophia. Thank you so much. I definitely agree with Tira. You are definitely fantastic. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, you mentioned that the lifespan is only 20 years. Is there, can you share with us, like, who are the predators and what are some of the causes of its death if it's not for human consumption, blah, blah, blah?
Well, actually, horseshoe crab usually is hunted by because they eat like small things at the beach, and they can actually die during their mating season because they can't turn themselves back on. Because when they lay on its back, they die. That's why we should turn them back when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they is actually attacked by animals at the beach because they are like easy target. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I think that's like a really cute, cute but deadly problem. I mean, the fact that they died because they can't turn themselves around. And yeah, it's kind of sad about the fact that they are also hunted by other animals because I assume that the exterior is a bit hard for them to be consumed. And then the other question is, you mentioned like, there was a demand for the blood to be used for like biotech purposes. Can you share with us a little bit more on what that means? Like what sort of research or like what sort of product is it used? That uses the blood.
Actually, their blood is, like I said, high in copper, and they have this blood clotting agent, which make them high in biomedical purposes because they are biomedical people, the psychological scientists, and pharmaceutical people are actually very interested because they can use their blood to make medicine. And this medicine is actually used for us. So I think it's very selfish for us because they died because of us. So I choose this.
Thank you. Over to other judges.
Hi, Sophia. Thank you so much for your presentation. It's a, I like horseshoe crab. I'm just wondering, have you had experiences in, releasing a horseshoe crab before? Have you held it before?
No, I would love to, but I've never even met one.
Okay.
I'm very interested in horseshoe crab because my mother used to tell me about how she eats horseshoe crab before. I was
Okay,
like,
right.
blue blood animals? That is so weird. So I choose it.
All right, okay. Can we see your model, please?
Yes.
Mm.
I actually make two parts, like this is the top one so
Oh,
that I
okay.
can easily compare, like you can see. And then I make the back one so that it's easier for me. Like you guys can see.
No, can you just like lift it a bit?
Because the egg's gonna fall down.
Oh, you can turn,
I see.
bring down your
Yeah, just
camera.
show. Yeah.
Bring down your
Maybe
camera
adjust
a
your
little bit.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good idea from Marmalina.
I can show it.
Oh, okay, right. So you have the two parts here. Okay,
Yes.
I'm really interested in the egg. How do you make the egg?
Like I said, I only use paper and water. Like I soak all of it and just make it like small pieces, color it, and then just put it there so that it can indicate the 60,000 and 120,000 eggs before.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Over to Andrew.
Thank you. It's a very, very interesting creature, you have in your hands. Yeah. And, you should see it, you should go to the beach side. Where do you live?
I live in Malaysia in Negeri Sembilan.
Okay. In Negeri Sembilan, I think you just go to Podixon.
Yeah.
Just drive down to Podixon or Lingi area.
I went to a lot of seas before, but I've never met one, and I'm actually jealous of my mom for meeting one and eating one. But I want to meet them. Like,
I saw a few in Teluk Lando. So if you drive past the 10 mile of Podixon, that stretch of beach, I think there's a good place to see because a lot of little rivers coming out. Yeah. But anyway, that's a pretty. Thank you for highlighting one of the most, I think, interesting creatures we have in our shorelines. I think. Do you know what is the Malay name for this?
Blancas.
Okay, excellent. And do you know why it's not protected in Malaysia?
Actually, because it's only 2019, it was declared as endangered. There are not actually any conservation program taken yet. No, nothing yet. And only research institute in Sabah has started research on these conservation programs. But there's no law that say it's illegal to cut them and eat them.
Correct. Not yet. Yeah. So we need a lot of young voices like you. Yeah. To locally tell the government to they need to push for this because it needs to be protected. Yeah. And the simple act of lifting up. I'm very intrigued. Thank you for pointing it out because I see a lot of people holding it up by the tails. That's the worst thing to do. So thank you for highlighting. I hope this is recorded and is shown to. This is viral across the country and across the world because you shouldn't pick it up by its tail, and that's a very important point. Thank you very much. Yeah, really appreciate it.
What happens if you pick it up by its tail, actually?
If they yank it too much, it might dislodge. Yeah, and the tail is used for many reasons. And the reason why it's long tail, not just for display, it was also for movement. Yeah, and sometimes it helps him upright itself if the tail is okay. But if it's snapped or dislodged, it's a death sentence for you. Thank you very much for teaching us a lot of good things today.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you to the judges and thank you, Sophia. Now we will be having a 5 minutes break before we continue with the next participant. Please stay tuned. Không sao hết, không sao hết. Welcome back, everyone. Shall we proceed? Please welcome the next participant, Damziana. You may begin.
Okay, so hello everyone. As the organizing committee said that I have a minute to introduce myself to you. So there's no reason I'm not taking this advantage. So first of all, I just want to say that my name is Yenin and I'm currently a student of Lawrence Esting School and I come from Vietnam. And I just want to say that I really amazed by how you all fellow participants performed in the last presentation. Congratulations on that. Additionally, I want to inform that there is now some hardware problem going on with my laptop. So in case that if any corruption might be happened during my presentation time, please forgive me for that. Just need to wait, hold on for a few seconds and I'm still able to continue again. Thank you for that. And okay, so now let's get started. Hi everyone, as you know, I'm Yenin and this is my great pleasure joining this year's Aman English Youth Leadership Summit 2021, and particularly in the Eco Model Building Competition. So I came up with the idea of making a 3D dimensional model of the elephant, which is now being threatened and witnessing a sharp decline. So before reaching the main point of what my presentation is mainly about, let's have a look at some facts about this wonderful creature. So fact number one, elephants have an amazing sense of smell and they can smell water up to like 12 miles away. And they spend 16 hours a day just for eating. And they just spend only 2 to 3 hours a day for their sleep. They also have a very sensitive skin. That's the reason why they use dust and mud to protect their skin. We all know that elephants are giant creatures. They have a very big size. But regardless of how big they are, they also be startled by things that move by them fast. For example, the mice, as you can see on the screen. So in Vietnam, our country, the elephant holds great cultural as well as the religious significance. They have long been venerated by the Vietnamese ethnic minorities, and also in history, elephant was used as a mode of transportation in many independent wars of our ancestors. So, however, elephants in our country are at a crucial moment and their numbers have been decreased dramatically and they are now in danger of extinction. As Mr. Anthony de Williams once said, each and every animal on earth has as much right to be here, just as you and me. That's explain why I believe that right at this moment is the best time to put the proper solution in place in order to rescue this animal. So what is terrible going on with this with the elephant? Okay, so according to FFI, which is Fauna and Flora International, there are fewer than 85 elephants remaining in the wild of Vietnam. And Vietnam elephant population has decreased softly, falling from a maximum estimated population of 2,000 animals in 1980 to just a few more than 100 in 2000. And unfortunately, more and more elephants are killed every day for the ivory tusk. And in Daklak province, which is considered a capital of domesticated elephant in my country, also witnessed a decrease in the number of elephants. And to be more specific, during the period of 1979-1980, this province had more than 500 domesticated elephants. However, by 2018, only 45 remained. So here are the following are some causes for this decline. 1. Forest cover loss due to logging, forest clearance for agricultural purpose. Forest fire leads to many elephant herds become more isolated. Elephant capture due to the domestication purpose, elephant-human conflict, and ivory poaching. So me and my team have thought of some accessible remedy in order to deal with this problem. The first one of that is to prevent illegal killing. So there is a fact that elephants are very intelligent animal, and they have emotion, they have feeling, and they have the capacity to love deeply. When the baby elephant rescued after losing their mommies, they will well and crave and exhibit a great sense of fear and emotional pain, and they can even die because of trauma. And the second remedy is to protect elephant habitat. Okay, we could see that wildlife and human alike, we all depending on a natural and healthy environment in order for us to live well. So preserving and protecting the environment for elephants to live on is one of the best solutions in order to live the profound positive impact. And the last one is to ban any ivory trafficking. So here's a fact, just as us human, we have our right hand and our left hand. Elephant too, they have their right tusk or left tusk, and the tusk evolved from their teeth, which giving them a lot of advantages, like gathering food, lifting object, and yeah, of course, the defense. So just imagine that one day we go to school and then someone kidnaps us and cut off our hands and then just murder our parents. That would be one of the most painful thing ever that one could encounter. So as I said, elephant is one of the most intelligent and emotional animal on earth. That's the reason why I said that this time is the best time to put the appropriate solution in order to rescue this species. So, okay, now let's turn to the very interesting part of my presentation, which is showing you how the model look like. Okay, so here's the picture of it. This is the whole body of the elephant, and here is the head of that. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so here's how I made it. For as you can see on the screen, there are some I use my family left out stuff in order to make this model. Like you can see that we have plastic pipe for the trunk, iron glue cover for the tusk, and for the legs, I have some water bottle and glass liner bottle. And for the body, I have the water container to make it. And for the head of the elephant, I have the plastic spray bottle. Okay, so for the measurement, as you can see, here's the size. With length is 63 centimeter, and height is 32 centimeter. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. I hope that this event will successfully be organized. And finally, good luck, our fellow participants. You can do it. Thank you so much. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you again.
Good job, Yanin. You were amazing. Now on to the next part, which is the Q&A session. This will start with Mr. Andrew.
Thank you very much. I mean, well presented, very nice PowerPoint, and your model is very interesting. Do you know what happens on 12th of August every year?
On top of August.
On 12th of August. Not too long from now, next week, in fact. It's the International Elephant Day, you know.
Oh.
It's celebrated around the world. So it's interesting. Yeah, so it's good for us to learn and share new things, yeah. So it's nice to see that you celebrate the elephants and you highlight some of the issues. And is it possible for us to have a better look of the model?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Here's that one. You see, there is a touch of that from iron glue cover, and
I see.
And here's the head of that.
Okay. In building your model, did you make special arrangements so that it would look like an Asian elephant, or will it look like an African elephant? Did you know the difference between the two?
Oh, well, like during the making process, I depend on the type of the Vietnamese elephant. So I have a picture of Vietnamese elephant, and I make everything depending on that. Yeah, so yeah, a Vietnamese elephant, this Asian elephant.
Asian elephant, yes. So you know the difference between the Asian, the African, and pygmy elephant? You know the difference?
Yeah,
Did you research that? Yeah.
Okay, that there is a lot of different things between those elephants, but to be honest, to be more specific, I just do not have enough information to answer that.
But it's good that you had fun doing it. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew.
Hi, I just want to ask you that you mentioned a little bit about domesticated elephants and how significant it is in the Vietnamese society. Can you share with us that, domesticated elephants still is it still relevant now? And if it is, can you share with us that, what sort of domestic tasks are they doing? Because you mentioned, there is a decline of domesticated elephants. It started with 500 plus, and now there's only 45, if I'm not mistaken. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for your question, Ms. Amalia. So to answer this question, I want to say that in my country, as I said, elephant holds a really great cultural as well as the religious significance. I say that in my PowerPoint, and because of that, many people, and especially Vietnamese minority group, they domesticated elephant in order to have them for some occasional festival, they worship elephant, and I think that's one of the first reason why they domesticate elephant. And the second one is in some particular region of my country. For example, there is a region called Tây Nguyên, which is a highland of my country, and elephant is used as a mode of transportation. It's just a very minor group of that, but there are still some people domesticate elephant for that kind of purpose. Thank you.
Okay, very nice presentation, yeah. I actually wanted to ask, I think Amalina asked the question that I was also very interested in the, you were saying that the Vietnamese people actually venerated the elephant, especially by the ethnic minority. But I think I'll now go to your model. I'm just wondering, it has a very interesting posture, your elephant. Is there a reason for that? And also, is there a reason on why you have chosen the materials that you have used? Or is it just something that you found?
Okay, so explaining a little bit about my my model. Okay, so here's the model. You can see that the body of it. Can I share the screen and explain it to be more specifically?
Is that okay, Tira?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so can you see the screen now? Oh, yeah, this one, this page. Okay, so can you see that the body, the blue container? So I found the first material of the model is that water container, and then I collect other material depending on the size of that container. So yeah, I could say that it's not randomly pick up things, but they all left out stuff in my house. Yeah, and I think it's appropriate, and I use it, and I utilize the thing. Yeah, That's
Okay.
it. Thank you.
And it just happens that the posture is like that, yeah? There's no significance to it. I mean, the you know, the way it, you know, the way the body is, you know, and how the trunk actually, you know, goes up. There's no particular reason for it, no? Huh? Okay, it just happens
Okay.
like that. Okay.
So I have like before carrying out this presentation, I have read like several research on elephant. So like when a trunk goes up like that, the elephant like want to like represent that they are like have a really positive feeling. I mean that positive contains a lot of like particular thing in that concept, but I just wanna choose this gesture of the elephant in order to say that my elephant is now happy and grateful, and he's just like really happy to join this event, just like me.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All the best, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yanin, and thank you to the judges. Let's give a warm welcome to the following participant, Harshika Anak Perempuan Rajalingam, but she's actually having trouble sharing screen. So tech support, could you please present her slides? And Harshika, please let tech support know when to click next.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start now. So a very good afternoon to the honorable judges and my dear competitors. My name is Harshika Rajalingam. I am 15 years old and I am a student at SMK Convent Ipoh. And for your information, I'm a Malaysian. So next slide. So without further ado, I will move on with my presentation. So the endangered animal that I decided to build is the pangolin. There are actually 8 species of pangolins, but I specifically chose the Sunda pangolins. Here are the reasons I decided to choose the Sunda pangolins. First, Sunda pangolins are known to be the most trafficked mammals in Malaysia and the world, and surprisingly, most citizens have no clue about it. Therefore, I just thought that picking this animal as my project would somehow increase awareness. So everyone knows that pangolins have really thick scales, but only the Sunda pangolin species have bulletproof scales and they have medical benefits as well. As I mentioned earlier, Sunda pangolins are one of the most threatened group of mammals in Malaysia, and the reason is because they own an exotic look, which doesn't make them cute or cuddly like dogs or cats. Moreover, they have like this body shape that differs from other mammals because they roll up and their scale overlaps each other. And as someone who likes to do some handy dandy work, I just thought that it would be challenging to build a complicated body shape. The last reason is that the current population of Sunda pangolin species in Malaysia is only 200 to 120, and for some reason, this matter really isn't being acknowledged well. The next slide, please. So let's move on to why the Sunda pangolins are endangered. First and foremost is because of the loss of habitat due to expanding agriculture and other human uses. The next reason is illegal pet trade that are conducted worldwide at a very, very large scale. These animals are trafficked mainly for their scales and skins, which are believed to treat a variety of health conditions such as cancer. Sunda pangolins are also sold as a form of bushmeat, for as they are considered a delicacy. Adding on, Sunda pangolins are also trafficked just for clothing and fashion. I mean, like, we have so many things to wear and you want to wear this. And another reason they're endangered is also because of their value to humans as exotic pets. Although Sunda pangolins aren't your usual choice of pet, there are some people who illegally buy these animals just to show off that they have a unique, exotic looking pet. Next slide. Now I'm going to explain on ways to save Sunda pangolins from extinction. And keep in mind that these are the ways that only we can take and not the government or any other organization. First is by increasing awareness through media platforms or by schools educating students on the importance of Sunda species. Secondly, netizens should bravely report any illegal activities to the responsible party. Third is that one should not consume pangolin products because if we don't consume pangolin products, people will not sell them and the chain goes on. Next, we should support wildlife advocacy groups. I mean, if we are too lazy to do something about it, we should at least support people who are willing to do it, right? So we can just donate some money or just sign up a petition just to support the fact that Sunda pangolins should be saved. The next one is really just an idea that I came up with. So everyone knows the movie Kung Fu Panda, right? And throughout the years, people have really started to see pandas in a very different perspective. And honestly, they're not as endangered now as they were before. Why not do the same with pangolins as well? It would be a great method to entertain and educate the community at the same time. Last but not least is demanding a better law enforcement on those who carry out illegal pangolin trading. Next slide, please. So the materials I used are newspaper for body formation, cardboard to replicate their sharp claws, plastic bottle for the narrow face they have, and I used paper mache to create the penguin's face, which I actually used newspapers along with egg cartons. I made the scales using exercise book covers instead of normal paper because my mom was going to throw them out anyway. And I used adhesive materials and lots of watercolor paint. The next picture, the next slide, please. Okay, so these are the pictures that I took while making the model. So initially, my mom just said it looked like a humongous rat. I didn't disagree. So next slide. So this is how it looked like. This is the part where I made the scales. And I think I made around 300 to 400 pieces of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if I made more. So next slide, please. So this is how it looked like before I added the legs and the facial features. Next slide. And the part that you have been anticipating, the final look of my model. And as you can see in the picture, I actually just left the pangolin on the grass because for some reason it just looked more realistic. And it was too realistic to the point where my neighbor actually asked me if it was dangerous. Next slide, please. And you can keep clicking because there's only like pictures of the final look. Yes, these are just like more pictures. More pictures. Okay, so the length of my model is 44.5 cm to be exact. And the width is actually 28 cm. Next slide. And in the picture, it actually shows like the zero is way off the charts because I took the picture at a very bad angle. Sorry. And the next slide. And this is the same picture, but with a close-up. Again, I'm really sorry about the angle. So, yep, that is it from me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshika. You're splendid. Wasn't she, Dr. Zita?
Yes, very cute pangolin, Harshika.
Thank you.
Have you seen a real one?
I have, but only in a zoo.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your presentation, and I'm glad that you actually highlighted, particular pangolin, since we have other species of pangolin as well. You were saying that, this Sunda pangolin is not so popular. Is this in comparison with other pangolins, or generally pangolins are not popular?
Like compared to all the 8 species of pangolins, I think Sunda pangolins are like the least popular one. Because initially they were actually popular because they had like bulletproof scales and they were like really exotic looking. But now, since due to like all the poaching and illegal things that people do. It has really decreased a lot. So yeah, by 2020, there's only like 120 to 200 in Malaysia.
Do you know where we can find it still? Do you have any idea?
It might be surprising, but actually, you can never find, not never, like you'll be the luckiest person if you find it in the woods. But I think you can only find it like in zoos or like preservation areas. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, there's not much sighting of the Sunda pangolin, yeah, generally. You did mention, just one last question on fashion. You said that the pangolin is used for fashion. In what way?
Yeah. So you know the scales are used for making shoes and also handbags. Like the rich people who surprisingly they don't have anything normal to wear, they'll use these kind of things to wear.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I mean, I'm actually currently Googling like pangolin scales fashion just to see what's the big deal. Anyway, I want to ask you a little bit about your model. Do you have it with you?
Yeah, I do actually.
So I'm just wondering, is the scales like really thick? Because you mentioned that you made like 300 of them. How long did that take you? I mean, to like.
So my plan was actually like, I think I finished this model in 3 weeks. It could be lesser, I'm not sure. But my plan was to finish all the scales in like 1 week, and then I'll just like stick everything on. So yeah.
But is it like sturdy? Like does it?
Yeah, it's super sturdy. Like by accident, I gave it to my untrusty like sister, and she dropped it, and nothing happened.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that's good.
So yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Again, another iconic species that is actually facing extinction, especially in Malaysia. Yeah. So thank you for highlighting this beautiful creature. In all my tours, I've seen it maybe only twice in the field, but unfortunately, one of the better places to see these is actually in the plantations because they hunt for certain insects and ants and even termites and so on. So unfortunately, they favor disturbed areas like that right now. Yeah, it's not so natural, but they can still be found in the wild. But you're right, it's one of the most poached wildlife today. Yeah, so and Malaysia is one of the main hubs of pangolins, unfortunately. So we need to stop it. We need to stop it. People need to know. So the young people like you need to increase and
I will in the future, 100%.
Yeah, push for more awareness and so on. Yeah. Yeah, and the idea of a movie is always interesting, but I'm half-hearted because when they did Finding Nemo and when they did Rio and all that,
yeah,
people lost the message, the plot. You know.
No, that's because they
told the parents,
gave
Daddy,
attention to the movie though.
Daddy, I want a clownfish. You know, or Mommy, I want a parrot too. You know. So,
but the thing is, like through the movie, I like because I watched the movies too, so I know. So like I noticed that like they actually got famous, and like when they get famous, like you don't tend to hurt them because they have popularity. So yeah.
Well, you are different. Yeah, so that's very good to know. But a lot of people went out and ordered macaws and went and ordered clownfishes and so on. Yeah, so there's a spike in the trade in the pet trade. So the idea of a pangolin. Well, it can do more good than harm in this case. So I think it's a good idea. I think you should pitch this idea to your school, do a nice little video, yeah, and create and push awareness, yeah, and make a little TikTok, yeah. So that should work, yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you once again for highlighting one of the most brilliant creatures we have. You know.
No problem.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Just to add a little, like the Rage actually created a mini documentary series, and I think it went really well.
All right. Thank you so much, judges, and thank you, Harshika. Next, let's welcome young Rina. You may start now.
Wait a minute, I will share screen.
Yep, no worries. Take your time.
Evening, everyone, and evening, Joyce. And before we go to our presentation, I go to know about me. I'm sorry. Wait.
All okay, Rina?
Everything is okay.
Okay, great.
Yes. And my full name is Yang Rina, and my first name is Yang, and call me Rina. I'm from Cambodia. I'm from Ethiopian Education School, and this year I'm 16 years old. And in the free time, I read a novel, or eating or sleep. And fun fact about me, I eat a lot, but I'm not overweight. And in the topic, I chose the rhino to presentation. And before we go to the presentation, my topic, I want you to know about the rhinos. And rhinos is animal that huge that we have weighed 350 kilo to 3,500 kilos. And rhinos is animal that like mud, and their lifespan is 35 years to 50 years, and their height 1.3 meter to 1.9 meter. And it is a species of the rhinos. There are 5 species of the rhinos, and the first are the black and white rhinos that we find in Africa. And the second is Indian rhinos, or we call the great one horn rhinos, and we find it in Indian. And Taiwan rhinos is the animal that live in Southern Asian, and also Sumatra is live in Southern Asian. And table content for my presentation, I have 4 points. That the first point, I will to tell you why our team chose the rhinos, and the second is the meteorite and the model that we made it and we use it, and the third is why rhinos is endangered anymore, and the fourth, how to protect it. And now we move to the first one together. And for this point, I have 3 reasons. The first one is small number. Rhinos is one of the animals that we have small number. For rhinos that we in Southern Asian have less than 80. So that I think is a small number in Southern Asian. And sorry, we have problem. And here is the graphic that we tell about the number of the rhinos that live. Sorry, my computer is error, so that wait a minute. And it is the second reason that I choose is rare. And the first that I tell you the reason is small number, that in Southern Asian, some people they never seen them before. Yes, and very popular in Asian. When I was young, I heard my grandparents and my father tell me about the rhinos, and I don't see it right now. Before and right now, I never see it. Oh, sorry. My computer is error, so that give her the card. And for the service and is foreign definer, rhinos is the animal that we can protect them from the fire in forest fire. Oh, sorry.
Maybe like the technical support can help to share your screen.
Of course, yes.
Young Rina, would you like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Tech support, could you please present Young Rina's screen? Yep. Just tell them when and which slide to go to.
Sorry, the next slide. So the next slide. The material and the model that I use it have next slide, please. The material that I use it will have umbrella cloth, bamboo, plastic rope, glues, and scissors and marker. For the umbrella cloth, I use it to the skin of the rhinos, and the bamboo I use it to skeleton of the rhinos. And for the plastic rope, I use it to tie the bamboo to make the skeleton. Yes, and for the glues, I use it to close the paper or cover up to cover the skeleton or the skin. And for the scissors, I use it to cut the paper or the cover up. And the marker, I use it to draw the eye of the rhinos. Next slide, please. And it's the model that I made it, and I take the video, take the photo behind my house. Yes, and next slide, please. And it is a model size. Length is 33 centimeter mirror, and width is 33 cm, and body size is 4730, and I spent time 2 weeks to make it. And next slide, please. And the reason I will to tell the reason that rhinos is endangered animal. Next slide, please. And it is the reason that it's endangered animal. And the first one is habitat loss. It is affect the rhinos that is endangered animal because they agriculture land to, and some people cut it to use, cut the tree to use. And the second point is hurting. It is a high number because some people they need money, so that they hurt the rhinos to take a horn of the rhino to buy, and some people are hurting the rhino to make the own business. And the third is traditional medicine. In such time, in Asian people, they believe horn of the rhinos can cure the disease. And the fourth reason is statue symbol, and also in South Asian people, they believe when they have horniness, they can make them successful in their work or in their life and have healthy or we have a good in their life. Now move to next slide, please. And it's a fourth how to protect it. It is for the point I have three, but I have two. Let's move to next slide. Move to next slide, please. And it's start with ourselves. We want to do protect the rhino. We start from ourselves so that we don't buy or sell the rhino's horn, and join to protect rhinos with organization or call police or about rhinos hurting, and do not use rhino's horn as medicine or something that can make rhinos is then endangered anymore. Move to the next slide, please. And it is from my research that is an organization that to protect the rhinos, sue the rhinos, and it's WWS. And it is the point that WWF has help to protect the rhinos or sue the rhinos. And is that all? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rina. You were incredible. This leads to the Q&A session starting from Miss Amalina.
Thank you so much, Rina. I think not too many questions from me, but I just want to comment on your model. I think this is my first time seeing someone using natural resource, which is bamboo. Would you mind sharing your model with us, and can you share with us why do you choose a bamboo, which is usually I think the like from what I can see, a lot of your other participants like to use like recycled materials. Can you share?
Because a bubble, now I'm in my hometown that I saw my neighbor, they cut the bamboo tree because my hometown near a riverside, so that we have a lot of bamboo, so that my neighbor cut it to make something that he want to make, like something that help them to catch the fish in the lake or the river, so that I saw him use it and leave it. We have a lot, so that I asked him to have some that I can use it. Yes.
Can you share? Can we look at the model?
Oh yes, it's here. Sorry, wait a minute. Here. Can you see it? And
I would never could guess that this is made out of bamboo. So well done.
It's me. Okay. All right. Thank you, Rina, for your presentation. It's nice to hear some, a presentation from Cambodia. Yeah. I'm just wondering. I mean, you actually presented a number of rhinos, right? So can you tell us a bit about the rhino species in Cambodia?
Yes. In my country has the rhino, but it's a small number, and it's in the zoo that we protect it and take care of it. It's a lot. It's not a lot. It's I think the 10 rhinos. Not more than 10, because it's not we have a lot, not a lot, so that we put in the mountain that become Tamal mountain, that is assumed that Cambodian people know about it, and when we want to see it, we go to the Tamal mountain, we can see it.
Okay. Is there a certain type of rhino? Certain species of rhino, because you mentioned a number of types, different species of rhino, right, in the beginning. So in Cambodia, which of those species that you can find? Do you know?
Well,
I'm interested. Noah?
I don't know about this.
Okay, but it's quite interesting to know, what kind of, rhinos that we can find in Cambodia. Just one, you told us that your father have seen the rhino before. So in the past, in the past, he could see the rhinos just, nearby the house, or what was the story?
For this, my grandmother, they told me that, they told them, her father that have see before, then can tell me rhinos is an animal that we use the horn to make the medicine to cure the disease, so that I know it a little bit, but I hear some neighbor for my neighbor to tell or discuss with my grandmother when I was young.
I see. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. You're learning a lot of nice, interesting things, yeah? As all the participants give us a quick tour about some of the wildlife in the area. Thank you so much, yeah? But you said rhinos like mud. Why do they like mud? Do you know?
Oh yes, I think that protect the skin. Okay. Yes.
Protect the skin?
Oh yeah, I don't know about this, but I know the rhinos is animal like mud, but I don't know how why they like mud. Yes.
Okay, so in our country, I live in Malaysia, so our rhino species we had two, and both are now extinct in the wild. is only now left in the zoo. Yeah, so as far as rhino conservation is concerned, I think Cambodia is doing better than Malaysia. So, but based on that alone, I think you still need to rally your friends, yeah, your generation coming up to say that you need to continuously protect the population of rhinos in your country, yeah, by creating awareness. So thank you. Your presentation is very interesting. I hope you turn into a video and show to all your friends and make it viral as much as possible. Yeah, but thank you for showing us the bamboo and the background sound of the chicken. Is that from you?
Oh yeah. Now I'm in the chicken. My house in my hometown. I'm not in the city right now.
Thank you. Very nice to know that. Okay, so stay safe. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Good job.
Sorry for my computer has errors.
No, it's fine.
No worries. Thank you so much to the judges, and thank you, Rina. Please welcome the next participant, Awang Ehsan Madir. Good luck.
All right, thank you. Let me share my screen. So thank you to Tira and the committee team. Good afternoon to fellow judges and fellow participants. I'm Awang Ehsan Mahdi bin Awang Petra, and I'm familiar to call as Ehsan. I'm from College of Vocational Coaching, Malaysia. And for today, for Eco Model Building competition, I'm going to present my rhinoceros hornbill. Move to the next, conservation status. The rhinoceros hornbill is classified as near threatened by the International United for Conservation of Nature (IUCN). I am aware of the meaning of behind near threatened and endangered animals. So these species are facing with many challenges in this species. The species having so much problem in it. Along with the global issue of deforestation resulting in a loss of habitat, these birds are hunted as food, and ornaments are made out of their casts and feathers. Although the rhinoceros hornbill are the icon of Sarawak, but I am a Sarawakian. To be honest, I haven't saw a real rhinoceros hornbill that living in forest. I only saw rhinoceros hornbill in a zoo and in a cage. So hornbills are now totally protected species under the Wildlife Protection Ordinance 1998 in Sarawak. Although these species are not considered as endangered animals by IUCN, but personally for me, I consider this as endangered animals because of why. Last time I visit rural areas in year 2019, where people say that have a lot of rhinoceros hornbill, where we can see it easily. But that time I tried to find it in the forest, to be exactly is in Mulu Mountains, where it's very famous with rhinoceros hornbill. I visit the place, and I still never saw the rhinoceros hornbill. And I think it's considered as really hard to find it, because it should be considered as endangered animals, not near threatened. Maybe near threatened by some of the place where it still have a lot of rhinoceros hornbill. But in my place, where Sarawak is the icon of the hornbill, I also haven't saw the rhinoceros hornbill. So the reason why this rhinoceros hornbill considered as protected species under Life Protection Ordinance in Sarawak, because of its defined as species endangered of extinction due to habitat destruction and the hunting. So the penalties that been fall for people who have caught to pet, killing, hunting, capturing, selling, trading, disturbing them, or possessing any recognizable of parts these animals and server. Maximum penalties are 50,000 and 2 years imprisonment. So there's a good things for this law ordinance. And to avoid from extinction, the first thing we can do is through the land gazettement to saving rainforests from further harm and degradation. These things are only met from the government. They have to go to the parliament and discuss about it to make this the forest for species to live are safe for them to live. They can live there with safe. There's no people can enter that place easily. And the second is population survey and monitoring should be conducted from time to time. Yes, the officer must have start a new way to monitoring this species, because of Sarawak is big. There's maybe we have a lot of rhinoceros hornbill, but because of it's too big, we cannot aware of where we're going. So do a population survey and monitoring should be conducted from time to time will help us to know when will be the exact times to recognize it, consider it as endangered animals. Because right now I think it's near threatened by IUCN are not really good for we place this species in near threatened. This must be in endangered animals. And the third one, establish community-based conservation projects in Sarawak to protect native hornbill species. Include everyone, not only those forestry officers. Yes, that's a good point, because of we cannot just put this responsibility to the officers. As citizens, we must take part also. We must make sure that none of us are take a chance to kill them, to sell them again. I know we all know that these rhinoceros have a unique nose, a unique mouth, and the feathers. Though it is not the point of us to take this opportunity to sell them back with a higher price. And the last point is turn the existing laws. 15 years, 50,000 ringgit, and 2 years imprisonment is not enough to spread the awareness. Yes, because of when this case brings to the court, the penalty 50,000 ringgit will be, I think it will be decreased around maybe just 2,000, 3,000, and people are still like, oh, this is only 2,000-3,000. It's okay, I can pay this. 2 years imprisonment. I think this is just some things to scare people. So by tightening the existing law, maybe like up the penalties to 100K to 100K, I think it will be great. And the imprisonment must be very, very tightened. Well, people are, whoever been submitted with this case, there must be a really punishment for them. And now is the materials to take each part of 3D model. I only use three things, which is wasted assignment papers to do the nose and mouth and the body, a plastic bottle for the neck, and cardboard and the wings and tail. So there's pictures of it, the body, the face, the whole body, and the back side. And this is the measurement, where it is 29 centimeter for the 28.5 for the width, and the length is 47.1 centimeter. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ehsan. How was his presentation, Mr. Andrew?
Thank you, Awang. Which part of Sarawak do you live?
I live in Kuching.
In 2019, I organized the Asian Bird Fair in the waterfront in Kuching. We had about 60 countries coming to attend the bird fair. And these are birds in the wild. People come and enjoy and watch. Yeah? They come and share information and so on. And they did see the rhinoceros, a pair of rhinoceros hornbill very close by and not too far, near Kuba. So thank you for showing us one of your iconic birds. You failed to mention that this is your state bird, you know, the state bird, the official state bird of Sarawak is the rhinoceros hornbill, yeah? So that's an interesting point for you to even share with your friends, yeah? Because we need, this is also awareness. We need to tell more and more people, especially your friends in your age group, you know, there's such a beautiful thing exists in your state, yeah? Before I go to your design, the other thing I must point out is we don't have to go to Parliament to try to protect the forests in Sarawak. Yeah? All land matters in Malaysia belongs to state. Yeah, so you don't have to go to Parliament. It's the state legislation, you know, across the river from the waterfront. Locals, you can push your government to say that, hey, we need to protect more the species by protecting their homes. Yeah, so start from your level. Yeah, create awareness, push, get people to love it, get people to understand such a beautiful thing exists. Yeah, land of the hornbill is linked to Sarawak, right? So you need to push, and your generation can do a much better job than our generation. We did a bad job, you know. So it's up to you, Awang, you and your friends. Yeah. So your can I see your model again?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I should stop count.
Did you notice the male and female hornbill has different eye color?
Yeah, this is a male where it have the
So
red.
this is a male.
This is a male because of red and black. For female, it have white and red.
Very good. Thank you. Next, please. Thank you. Thank you, Awang.
Andrew, I think I just want to like sort of mention that I think Awan Isan did mention that it is the icon of Sarawak. Just
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay,
no
thank
worries.
you.
Yeah, just wanted to share. So how would you like me to address you? Do you want me to call you Awang, Isan, or Majid?
Isan.
Okay, Isan, yeah. So Isan, I have just one question for you. I mean, in terms of the solutions that you provided, it is very on a communal level or policy making level. But what can individuals do, like you and me, can do on a daily basis to help with the conservation of this beautiful creature?
Maybe we can create some of campaign. We can start a campaign where we can make people, where we can make awareness. We can create awareness to people about the conservation status, because it's very lucky, but we are in near threatened rather than in the endangered animals, because we will still have a chance to make it safe for the species living. So by creating some awareness, where we all have been create some awareness, but we're not push it very tighten. So we've pushed it very tighten, where we've maybe put some in the school syllabus, or maybe in some of companies NGO, by making a new program, invite those experts like all of you to give awareness about this.
Thank you.
Okay, Isan, thank you so much. Yeah, I love hornbills. I just want to ask, I mean, following what, Andrew was saying about, and also Amalina was saying about the hornbill being the icon, and the state bird of Sarawak, we have a lot of international participants today. How would you promote, because it's such a fascinating bird, how would you, sort of make them fascinated about the hornbill and, and really want to go to Sarawak to see it?
To be honest, if you're going to Sarawak and you want to watch a hornbill, it's quite hard. Maybe if you try to go to the rural areas, it's so hard to find it. Because I've also went to the Mulu to find rhinoceros hornbill. It's also hard. So to promote this, I think we can start from like import some birds and other hornbill from the other world, from the other countries to Sarawak, and we got some new zoo, a zoo where we put each of the hornbill inside the cage. Maybe it's not a cage, just a big forest zoo where we can compiling them so everyone can watch it. So everyone know that rhinoceros hornbill is not the only hornbill that exists in this world. We have a very lot of species that we can put. So,
but it's more of what is special about the hornbill. In terms of, what is so unique about it that people would be interested in it, in your opinion?
For some ethnic in Sarawak, like Iban, they believe some of any animism ritual where they think that the rhinoceros hornbill is some of the god of war for them. So most likely, Iban people are very aware with the birds, where they think that if the birds come to them, it will bring some good life. Yeah, something like that. And
so that's okay.
Yeah, and sorry, but for some people, the mouths are very unique. So people want to sell them to gain some money, and the feathers can create some things like arts for people to sell it.
Okay, just one quick question: is there any difficulty in you creating the model, because it's such a unique bird. Any challenges in building your model based on the hornbill?
Yes, very. I have a very lot of problems to credit, which is the width,
Which part?
where the width. I mean, this part like this, because of its hornbill is very teeny, but you have to make it huge like this, so it's very hard for me. It will be
Okay.
like weird, and I think the how to make this stand like this is also hard. I use very much sellotape and glue to make it stand like this.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jason.
Yeah,
All the
thank
best.
you.
All right, any other questions? No? Okay, so thank you to the judges and thank you, Awan. Next, I would like to call upon Isma Siddiq. You may begin. Sorry, Isma, are you going to be using your phone to present the screen?
Yes, I'm using my phone.
Is it okay if tech support helps you present the screen so it's more clear?
Isn't it clear now?
Okay. But your camera needs to be on, so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, great. Tech support. Tech support, could you help Isma present her screen so that Isma can on her camera? Just give them a second. All right. Isma, you can begin.
Assalamu alaikum. I have participated in SAEYLS 2021 and my task was to build a 3D model of an endangered animal. I'm very glad to be a part of this competition. In this presentation, I'd like to share some facts about brown bear. Next. Next slide, please. I'm Miss Mistake from FG Postgraduate College for Women, Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Things which made me to choose brown bear is that it is largest mammal native to Diosai National Park. Diosai Plain is a unique habitat flanked by mighty Karakoram Pamir, Western Himalayas and narrow valleys. It is 4,000 meters above sea level and brown bear's number is decreasing despite, previous slide please. Brown bear's number is decreasing despite preservation efforts and it is considered as critically endangered animal by IUCN. Next. Next slide. Okay. Diosai was declared as a national park in 1993 for brown bear preservation. As the reclamation of brown bears in Diosai National Park is significant because its number is decreasing due to habitat loss and over-exploitation by humans. Population surveys in 1993 revealed that there were no more than 20 individuals left. In 2006, this number increased to 43. In 2012, this number slowly increased to 56. And currently reported population is 90 to 120 in Gilgit-Baltistan and no more than 17 Diosai. Next. Next. Let me tell you some facts about brown bear. Brown bear is also known as Himalayan red bear, Isabelline bear, and Zute is the subspecies of brown bear. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. 7 populations of brown bears persist in the Himalayas, Karakoram, Hindu Kush ranges in Pakistan, China, Afghanistan. Next. Next. Yes. Brown bears are sandy and reddish brown in color. No, not this one. Brown bears are sandy and reddish brown in color. Its weight up to 120 kg and 1.5 meters in length. Brown bears are omnivores, but mostly herbivores, eat fruits, insects, grasses, etc. Brown bear hibernates in winter around October and emerge during April and May. Brown bears only feed in spring and summer. It has very low reproduction rate because females matures when 8 years old with 60 to 70 kg of weight and give birth to a single cub, and this cub remains with mother till 5 years. So during this period, female does not mate. So here are the reasons why brown bear is considered endangered. Due to repeated glaciation in higher latitudes, brown bears suffer fragmentation, due to which they are more vulnerable to disappearance. Previous slide, please. Previous slide, please. Due to very low nutrition food, it is also a threat to brown bears. Next. Shearing of alpine pastures. Next slide, please. Shearing of alpine pastures with livestock is also a great threat to brown bears because it led to less consumption of food. Next slide. Local people hold bear responsible for killing of their livestock, so they kill people in order to save their lives. So we should raise awareness in this regard. Next. Next slide, please. Poaching and bear baiting is also a great threat to brown bears. Poaching and bear baiting is also a great threat to brown bears. Now I share the ways to protect brown bears from extinction. Separate areas should be given to brown bears and other livestock so that their activity remains undisturbed. Feeding bears and their cubs should be guarded restricted areas so that their activities remain undisturbed by humans. Tourist activity should be restricted. Next. Local people should we should raise awareness among local peoples because they kill brown bears to save their livestock. So raising awareness could prove helpful. Next one. Entry pass fee in the Deosai National Park should be increased so that limited people can enter the park. Now I share the materials which I used to make each part of 3D model. I used cardboard to make its basic skeleton. Previous slide of materials, please. Then I use newspaper balls to make its structure. Then I applied paste paper on it using white glue. And after that, I applied coiled coconut's outer skin to give its hairy effect. Next. Next. Here are some pictures of my finished product. Thank you.
Thank you, Isma. Great work. Could Dr. Zida please begin with the Q&A session?
Hi, Isma. Hi, Isma. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing with us about the Himalayan brown bear. Bears are, just such cute and enigmatic, animal.
Yeah.
Love them. And also to tell us about the DSI National Park. In terms of the conservation efforts in Pakistan. I'm just wondering, what is the difference between the Himalayan brown bear with other bears, around in other parts of the world? What is the unique feature of the Himalayan brown bear? If you can tell us a bit.
It is a specific type of bear found in Deosai National Park, and it is only found in Gilgit-Baltistan and Deosai National Park, So that's why it is, I think it is more.
Oh, it can only be found there, is it?
Yes.
In that environment. Oh, okay,
Yes.
right. That's interesting. But what is the special feature of the Himalayan brown bear? Does it look the same? I mean, in terms of the fur, or any kind of characteristics of its.
It is small fur, small hairy fur, not very big, very small hairy fur on it.
Okay, in terms of the size, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Can I look at your model?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks very furry. Let's see. Oh, so you use, oh, wow, it looks bigger than the picture. Okay, right. And you use what? Coconut, you said coir, what's that?
It's coconut's outer skin. That's I used to make its hairy effect.
I see. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Ismail.
Andrew, do you want to go first? Hi Isma, I just wanna say that I empathize with you. I'm sorry that the slides was at the wrong place most of the time, and I could understand your frustrations. But I think we understand most of the contents that you try to deliver. I have one question for you. I think there was a mention about one of the solution is to feed the bears because one of the issues was because they have lost their natural resources for feeding. I'm wondering if that solution is something that you think is feasible, because wouldn't that increase dependency between the bears and humans, and that would also put them in a vulnerable position?
Because
Sorry?
I couldn't understand that.
Isma,
Due to, I think, network problem. Could you please repeat the question?
Sure. One of the solution that you provided, correct me if I'm wrong, because the slides was going back and forth for a little bit, but there was one of the solution is to provide feeding for the bears. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if if feeding is actually a good solution, because that would increase dependency for the bears to humans, and that would put them in a vulnerable position, because not all humans are nice to feed them, but when they see poachers, they just think that, oh, these are the nice people who's going to feed me.
Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you are. I can hear you.
Sorry, I couldn't understand the question because of, I think, network problem. Very sorry.
Do you want me to repeat the question, or?
Yes, please.
No problem. So you mentioned that you want to feed the bears, but that would also cause the people to be, that would cause the bears to be too dependent on humans. Do you think so?
Because feeding mothers should be given separate areas, because as there is more developed infrastructure, so due to this, humans disturb the activities of their feeding time. So that's we should prevent humans from going to their side.
So you're saying that you just put like food like around the areas, is it?
Yes, we should grow alpine pastures, because they eat insects, small mammals, fruits, berries. So growing fruits and berries trees would be helpful.
Okay, so I misunderstood. So I guess like your solution is to like sort of encourage or like start building ecosystems that would help in feeding and providing food for the bears. Andrew, do you have any questions?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. That's a very good point. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you are saying the population of these bears are increasing.
Yes, but it's increasing very slowly, and particularly in Diosai, it is no more than 70 individuals left. There are less than 70 individuals, and there are many threats to brown bear. So it's a very slow, and it is also critically endangered animal considered by IUCN.
Correct. Thank you. And in some parts, I think they reimburse farmers if some of the bears take their livestock. So that's a good exchange. And this Himalayan bear is shared by 3 or 4 different countries along the same range. Yeah? So it's very interesting to know that they survive only in a certain belt of a zone in the areas high up in the mountains. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. I really enjoyed the information. Thank you, Isma.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to the judges and thank you, Isma. Next, let us welcome Mahashri, anak perempuan Sunda. Take the floor.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, can you see it clearly? My voice is clear? Okay, thank you. Okay, hello everyone. Vanakkam, ni hao, and selamat sejahtera. My name is Mahashri Sunda. I am Form 4 student of SMK Sri Selaya, Selangor, Malaysia. So today I'm going to talk about a topic about an endangered species from a family of sea turtle. So there are, in general, there are 8 types of sea turtle, as you can see. So, unfortunately, all of them are in the list of whether it's endangered or extinct. So, the chosen sea turtle for my project is, tada, leatherback sea turtle. So, let us see a little about leatherback sea turtle. Its scientific name is Demoschli koreaceae. Is the biggest turtle in the world. They can grow up to 7 feet long and exceeding 2,000 pounds. These are the only remaining representative of a family of turtle that traces its evolutionary roots back more than 100 million years. Since the extinction of dinosaurs, they can dive to the depth of 4,200 feet and stay down for 85 minutes. They have a unique thermoregulatory adaptations that allow them to maintain core body temperature at this extremely cold depths. Jellyfish is the biggest portion of their diet. Other than that, they used to eat seaweed, fish, and other marine invertebrates. So, second, reason as why this animal is considered endangered. So they are thriving in the world's water less than 50 years ago. Today, the leatherback sea turtle is on the verge of extinction as a result of unsustainable human activity, many of these which continue to this day. 3. Ways to overcome and protect leatherback sea turtle from extinction. Do remember that every problem has its solution, right? So the first is say no to plastic. So as I mentioned earlier, jellyfish main diet is plastic bags. So the floating plastic bags in the ocean is considered as a jellyfish, and the leatherback sea turtle consume it. So plastic bags might create microplastic, and it's hard to break. This causes internal organs injuries and intentional blockage, and young turtles are great risk at dying. So this is a video of that turtle. It became viral in the internet. So sad. It's really so sad to see, right? So after the video became viral in the internet, so big company like McDonald's stopped using plastic straw and start to promote say no to plastic campaign. So what can we do to protect sea turtles? So simple, say no to plastic. we can use reusable items instead of single-use items, such as metal straw, paper bags, aluminum bottles, and many more. Second, turn off the lights visible from the beach. Leatherback sea turtle requires dark beaches for navigating and nesting their way back to the ocean. So artificial lighting confuses the sea turtle and causing them to migrate inland other than the sea. And then adult females are likewise deterred from nesting by artificial lights. So there's actually to solve this problem, a company managed to create a eco turtle friendly light. So it is actually the red light, yes, as you can see behind, but based on the research on UK university, it is proven wrong that this light is hazardous to turtles too. 3. Avoid illegal trade, overharvesting, and leatherback meats. So in Malaysia, overharvesting has aided in the extinction of leatherback turtles in Malaysia. Over the widespread egg harvesting and slaughter of adult turtles in Indonesia resulted in massive losses. And then hunting and egg collection persists throughout the Indian Ocean as well. 4. Make a donation. A small gift will go a long way toward helping a turtle. I recently purchased a reusable sea pattern turtle mask from Turtle Conservation Center, which will give the a modest amount of money to the turtle conservation. We all heard the expression, in for a penny, in for a pound. So no matter how modest the money is, a sum of amount will always preserve the sea turtle. So the materials I use is cardboard boxes, and then I wrap it with various plastic bags, and aluminum tins were used to replicate the turtle patterns. So these are the image of my model. So I did some editing at the back. Okay, the back front view, side view, front view, some editing, yeah. And thank you, everyone. That's all for my presentation.
Thank you so much, Maha. You were fantastic. What do you think about the model, Miss Amalina?
Yeah, I think it's really, really cute. I guess I have a really quick question about like the current state of like leatherback turtles in Malaysia. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there's no more leatherback turtles in Malaysia, but what about in other countries? Are they still available?
Yes, I have an interesting fact about this. So it's a really recent news about leatherback sea turtle, where last month, I think June 26th, there's an fisherman discovered an leatherback sea turtle at the waters of Pulau Redang. So actually, they have started conservation to protect the leatherback sea turtle. I think it's not extinct yet, but it's a recent news. So I think it's a good news for us.
Yeah, all it takes is a pandemic to like get people to stay away from their past. Thank you so much. Well, what about other judges?
You want me to go first? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mashari. It's very interesting to hear. It's very interesting to hear back about the leatherback turtles, because it has always been, a big issue in Malaysia. I'm just, there's a lot of, in terms of awareness, there's a lot of emphasis on the use of single-use plastic, and especially straw, when you relate that to awareness. But beyond that, say that you are asked to do a TikTok about increasing awareness about leatherback sea turtles. What are the other message that you would like to highlight in terms of increasing awareness among your peers about this issue?
So TikTok is a major platform for convey the message in a unique way.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to the total numbers of sea turtle is extinct in this world, and then I would like to ways to protect it. I know there's a lot of ways, and it can be applied for other sea turtle too, like green sea turtle and others one. So we need to. I will add ways to protect sea turtle, like usage of plastic bottles. You know, plastic bottles take a lot of time to compost, right? So we can actually use the usage of edible water bottle. If anyone knows that edible water bottle, it's not exist in Malaysia, but it's already exists in other countries, right? So I would be really happy if it exists in Malaysia too. And then next I will suggest to make a donation. I know we can't like afford even those in this COVID-19 period. We can still give a little bit of amount from ourselves to save the leatherback sea turtle and promote edible water bottles and donations. That's all, Miss.
All right, thank you, Mashri. Since you're very animated, so probably it would be good for you to do a TikTok. Yeah. Just another. Can we look at your model? The turtle model. Can you tell us a bit about the usage of materials? Because I think you didn't manage to explain about that just now in your presentation.
Okay, I will stop the background. So this is the model, Miss. You can see.
Okay. Materials do you use?
Okay, Miss. I use cardboard boxes for the model, and then the the structure of the body of the sea turtle. You saw like a little bit like this, right?
Yeah, with the leatherback. Yeah.
So arc. So I used a lot of work to attach it like this, and then I wrapped it with reused plastic bags, the garbage bag, the black color.
That's
So
a reused one, yeah?
The black color bags are really really easy to break, right? So I tried it more than 3 times to correct it like this. So, and then the tins, the round color shapes, right? I cut it, the aluminium tins with my hand one by one. So it isn't like easy.
Oh, those are
task for me
aluminium
to do.
tin.
Yes, aluminium tins. I attach all over the body of the turtle, and then I use homemade glue for it. So glue is hazardous for the environment. So I use rice glue. So what is rice glue is yes, everyone knows it. So rice glue is with water. I boil it for 45 minutes, and then I mash it, and then I luckily I get to place it.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank you.
also means attachable. You can remove it. So I didn't use any. So you guys can remove it like this.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mashri. I think Andrew would like to ask some questions.
Thank you very much. You keep saying plastic is bad, but you use plastic for your model, how come?
It's reused plastic bags, sir. So I stretch it very carefully to maintain the plastic bag from tear up. It's really it's a heartful process for me.
Correct. Thank you. I think some of the ideas, I think that the mask that you got from the Turtle Conservation Society, and they're doing good work in trying to protect turtles in the East Coast. Thank you for supporting them, for getting that right. So the leatherbacks are functionally extinct in our country. Yeah, although 1 or 2 sightings are there, but no landings. So who would you blame, number one? if I have to tell you to just name one person or one body, who actually is to be blamed because of the turtles being extinct?
I would say definitely say humans.
All of us.
Okay. Yes, we are all of us in a part of it because there's a lot of ways we can do to protect it, but humans are mostly selfish, and then they use products that adapt for themselves, not for the environment. So it's easy for them to use, but not for the safe to for the environment. So we all humans participate in this extinction of leatherback sea turtle. And then in Terengganu in Malaysia, there are people who eat the leatherback sea turtle eggs. So it's for the protein, right? They consume leatherback sea turtle eggs for high in protein as a culture also. So I think humans are the one.
Thank you. Thank you. Good point. So the challenge by Dr. Zida is for you to make a TikTok, okay? And explain all of this and create awareness. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you to the judges and thank you, Maha. Now it's time for a short 5 minutes break before we continue with our next participant. Stay tuned. Hello, I hope that everyone's back. Let's proceed. I'd like now to pass the floor over to Muhammad Harisha bin Rahmat, but he is actually facing very bad technical difficulties and isn't able to join the meet. So tech support will help play his pre-recorded video.
Hello guys, my name is Muhammad Shabir Rahman. I am 17 years old. I study at SMQ Bukit Jambu, Penang, Malaysia. And today I would like to present to you guys about my eco model. So the theme was endangered animals, and when I looked up research for some endangered animals that I know of, and I decided to go for sea turtles. What is a sea turtle? Sea turtle, or sometimes called marine turtles, are reptiles of the order Tessidines and of the suborder Cryptodea. The order Tessidines is an order which comprises the turtles, terrapins, and tortoises. There are 7 species of sea turtles, which are the green sea turtle, loggerhead sea turtle, Cam-Stradley sea turtle, olive tree sea turtle, hawksbill sea turtle, thickback sea turtle, and leatherback sea turtle. The ones that I have highlighted in green are the ones that are considered critically endangered. What are the differences between sea turtles and tortoises? Even though they look the same, they are different. So the first major differences is their home search habitat. On the picture in the left is a picture of tortoise, and on the right is a picture of a sea turtle. So as you can see, tortoises live on land, while sea turtles, based on their name, live in the sea. So next major difference is their shell shapes. Tortoises have high dome-shaped shells, while sea turtles have flatter, more streamlined shells for moving through water. However, there are exceptions to this, such as the pancake tortoise, which is a tortoise with a flat shell. A fact about Malaysia is we like to use animals to attract people to travel here. On the left poster, you can see a picture of a sea turtle below the number 2 of the bottom left part. On the right poster, you can see a drawing of a sea turtle on the 0. Even though our country likes to use them as promotion material, we do not take good care of them. Here are photographs that shows the amount of nesting trends of sea turtles in Terengganu, and they do not look pretty at all. Let's just see that. So, what are the reasons that sea turtles are endangered? First of all, is over harvesting. Sea turtles continue to be harvested unsustainably, both for human consumption and trade for their parts. This is due to the fact that sea turtle meat and eggs are a source of income and food for people around the world. Some sea turtles are killed for medicine. For example, the skull and skeletons of sea turtles are used to treat pains and aches, which is popular in Cape Verde, which is a country in Africa. Sea turtles are very dependent on beaches for nesting. Uncontrolled coastal development, vehicle traffic on beaches, and other human activities have directly destroyed or disturbed sea turtles nesting beaches around the world. Ways to overcome and protect sea turtles. First of all, you should turn out lights visible from the beach, as it will disorient the sea turtle hatchlings from going into the sea. Scientists believe that sea turtles hatchling has an innate instinct to go to the brightest direction, which is usually the ocean, since the moonlight will bounce off of the water. Secondly, you should reduce the amount of garbage you produce and clean up the trash you see on the beach, so that the amount of plastics in the ocean will decrease, and so the amount of sea turtles that died from eating plastic would decrease. Next, we should be aware of sea turtle nesting areas and avoid nesting and hatching turtles so that you will not disturb the process. The fourth way is to reduce the amount of chemicals you use, as the chemical that you use can be washed into the ocean, which can kill animals and plants, including sea turtles. Lastly, you should volunteer to join a program which helps sea turtles. And here are the materials and tools used. As you can see here, there's a black A4 paper and a yellow A4 paper, a glue, scissors, and compass. Here are the materials used to make the turtle shell. As you can see here, I use 4 different A4 paper, the yellow ones, to create the dome, the shell, and the black A4 paper I used to create the spots on it. The material used to make the head, legs, and tails are the black A4 paper, as you can see in the picture here. And here is the picture of the finished product. This is the length of it, which is 48 centimeters. Here is the width, which is 37 centimeters. And that is all. Thank you for listening.
All right, since Haricha isn't here, we can't continue with the Q&A session, so we'll proceed with the next participant. Please welcome DK Zara Mashura. You may begin.
Sorry, like he's gone or how?
No, he's having actually very bad technical difficulties, so he's unable to join the meeting.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry about that. DK Zara, you may start. Also, DK Zara, is it okay if you turn on your camera?
Yes, my camera is on.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Hello and good afternoon to my fellow participants and honorable judges. My name is Mashura. I'm representing Yayasan Secondary School from Brunei Darussalam. Today, I am wearing the kebaya. You might not be able to see, but it is the traditional and cultural attire for many Malay Southeast Asian countries, including Brunei Darussalam. The endangered animal I've chosen for my eco model is the pangolin. So pangolins are mammals that live in Africa and Asia. They have scales on their skins, which makes them the only mammals which have this adaptation. Pangolins catch their food using their tongues. Pangolins have large, hardened, overlapping, plate-like scales, and pangolin scales are made of keratin, which are attached to muscles underneath the skin. Pangolin facts. Number 1, pangolins can curl up into a ball when threatened, with its overlapping scales acting like armor while it tucks its face under its tail. Number 2, young pangolins are born with scales and they are hardened by the second day the pango cup is out of the womb. Number 3, pangolins are the most heavily trafficked animal in the world. But why are pangolins considered endangered? The reason: pangolins are hunted for meat, for use in traditional medicine, and as fashion accessories, particularly in China and Vietnam. Even though pangolin scales are made of exactly the same stuff as your fingernails, they are being slaughtered by their thousands because some people believe that their scales have magical medicinal properties. In 2017, the government of Cameroon burnt 8 tons of confiscated pangolin scales, which works out at around 15,000 murdered animals. Did you know, in 2017, live pangolins could command a price of more than $200 per kilogram, and their scales alone were worth roughly $600 per kilogram. Ways we can save the pangolin. Number 1, fund a pangolin PSA in Vietnam. 2, support other worthy organizations. And number 3, demand law enforcement in Southeast Asia. But the ways we can save it by making a difference is reducing the demand of pangolin meat and scales. The materials I use to make my eco model is number 1, used paper. Used worksheets and exam papers to make the body of the pangolin. Number 2, used cardboard boxes. Used boxes from packaging to make the scales. As you can see here, the pangolin scales are made of cardboard. And number 3, used plastic bottle caps, used water bottle caps to make the eyes, as you can see here. Here is me in the process of making my pangolin. And the end. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Mashura. That was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Zida, can we hear your opinion on the presentation?
Oh, it's my turn? Okay, all right. Thank you, Mashura. And this is another pangolin, yeah? There was another presentation before on pangolin, so it's good to, to highlight this, very precious animal. I'm just wondering, you were saying that, of course, pangolin is heavily trafficked, around the world, but how is the situation in Brunei? We'll be interested to know a bit about your local context on pangolin.
With what I know, we don't have a market for pangolins or pangolin scales since the numbers here aren't many. And also our population is quite small.
Okay, so there's no trafficking in, of pangolin in Brunei?
Yes,
You've
there's
never
no
heard of that. Okay, all right. And so that goes to my second question, how did you end up, choosing pangolin? What interests you about pangolin?
Well, it's a personal reason, actually. My auntie, she is, well, she really cares about animals and animal welfare. And a few years back, she made a company called Pangolin, something along those lines, but it never took off. So that's my reason.
Oh, wow. Is she an activist, environmental activist?
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay, right. So you're inspired by, her activism, yeah?
Yes.
So you can do more, in the future. Can we look at your model, please?
Oh, sure. Can you see it? Hold on. Let me take the...
It's okay. What was the most difficult part of, building this model? The pangolin is quite, a very unique, animal. Was it the scale? Was it difficult in that sense?
Actually, in my opinion, the hardest part about making the pangolin was the body itself, because I made it out of crumpled paper and I had to glue it together.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's a tricky animal to, to make a model of. All right. Thank you so much, Mashura, for sharing. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Very nice. Again, another good pangolin presentation here. One of the points that you raise is the ways to help is to fund a PSA in Vietnam. Why specifically in Vietnam, and what would the PSA say? If, for example, we give you money to do a PSA, what would it say? But firstly, why Vietnam, and what would your PSA say?
Well, in Vietnam specifically, because there is a high demand for pangolin scales there. Regarding the PSA, I'm not sure.
Give it a try. Gun to your head. What would your PSA say?
What would my PSA say? Maybe something along the lines of, we should care about pangolins because they belong on this earth and we only have one earth. Yeah.
Okay, good try. Okay, next.
Thanks, Andrew. You took the exact question out of my mouth, so I have no further questions. Back to you, Tira.
All right, thank you to the judges and thank you, Mashura. Let's give a warm welcome to the following participant, Amira and Anika Ansari. Go on.
All right.
All right, thank you, Tira. Okay, so hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Amira Nikansari. You can call me Amira for short. I am currently studying in SMA Negeri 10 Samarinda as a 12th grader, and it is located in Indonesia. Well, today I'm going to talk about an endangered animal that I have chosen for my 3D model. Okay, so Indonesia, specifically in Borneo, has an endangered animal that became the characteristic of the province there. I present to you helmeted hornbill. Okay, so helmeted hornbill is one of the iconic birds in Indonesia rainforest. Beside of Indonesia, it also can be found in Malay Peninsula, Thailand, and a small population occurs in Myanmar. And as I've already said, this bird is become an emblem of Borneo. And for the ethnic that live in the province that is West Borneo, this bird become a symbol of spiritual world and wisdom with their ancestors afterlife. So they're kind of related each other between this ethnic and also this bird. Okay, so we're going to know more about this characteristic of this animal that we called as Rhinoplex vigil as the scientific name. Okay, so it has brown black wings with white wingtip as you can see in your screen. And also it has a long central tail header, the longest tail than any other hornbill. And the third one is the featheral patch on the neck. And the most unique of this body of this bird is actually the red casque on the upper mandible. You guys can see it in your screen. Okay, but why helmeted hornbill considered as endangered? So there's actually a rapid decline in population, like 80% until more than 90% over the previous 10 years. And according to IUCN Red List of Threatened Species in 2015, this helmeted hornbill moved up in the list from threatened to critically endangered. Yeah, so they really need our help to save them. But why exactly the cases of this bird become endangered? Okay, so I'll tell you the three main cases of this. And the first one is poaching. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there who hunted this bird because of their casque. There's most unique part of body to use for trade. And the second one, as I already said, they want to sell it. They want to sell it to another country. It is an illegal trading because we shouldn't do that. It's not just a national illegal trade, but it is international. It comes to China and also Tiongkok sometimes. And the last one is habitat loss. As we know, there are a lot of deforested area in any other country, including Indonesia, and that is made this helmeted hornbill lose their home, their safe place to live because of land clearing for wood industry or agriculture. Okay, so because of three main cases, I'll also give the three ways to protect of this helmeted hornbill. The first one is conservation. Okay, so in Indonesia, there is a center conservation in West Borneo. And the second one is reforestation. Yeah, we really need to give them back their habitat. We need to give their safe place to live. We need to give them back their home because that should there belong to be. And the last one is eliminating poaching and trade. It can be done by government and also all of us. For government, yeah, they can do like strengthening the law enforcement and policies. And for us, we can help to eliminate the demand with raise the awareness from around us and maybe like sharing from social media to eliminate the demand because I believe there are a lot of people who doesn't know about this animal yet. And that's why I bring this to the summit. Okay, we are jumped to my 3D model that I have made. Okay, so what I use for my 3D model is I use cardboard for the head one. And for the body itself, I use plastic bottle and I fill it with some of plastic bags. And for the wings and also for the tails, I use plastic bottle also. And for the leg, I use cardboard and all of them are covered with plastic bags. And this is the pictures of my 3D model as you can see on your screen. Okay, so this is the red casque like I have said in the previous, and the wings, and this is the longest tail of his tails. And also this is another pictures of my 3D model, as you can see. Okay, and so for the width itself, it is 32 centimeters, and for the length, it is 43 centimeters. Okay, so that's all I think for my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, Amira. You did wonderful. Now, could Miss Amalina start the Q&A session?
Sure. Well, I don't really have a lot of questions because I feel like a lot of things were clear, were quite clear. And yeah, I just maybe want to ask you, like, are you which part of Indonesia are you from? Like, you know, and what is the significance of you, you know, choosing this helmeted hornbill? Are you from West Borneo yourself?
Oh, okay. So thank you for the question. I actually live in Borneo Island, but not in the province of West Borneo. I am in the East Borneo, but yeah, we kind of still related to that bird because we're still in the same island. But yeah, it is the mascot of West Borneo only. Thank you.
Thank you. And I love that you actually put on your traditional headgear. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you so much.
Over to the other judges.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is my favorite bird, you know, of all the hornbills. This is my favorite bird, you know. When I go out there, I look out for the call first, the sound it makes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I hear it, I get so excited. People around the world come to Malaysia, especially to see this, because it's critically endangered in the wild. And Malaysia is the best place to see them. Yeah, still there's good populations right here. Not a lot, but sure. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, yes, I hear it. It's so unique. I like it.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? Can you imagine this bird? You know, it's huge. It's beautiful. I'm very excited. So you live near Balikpapan, so I know the area quite. I know the area quite well. I do some tours there as well. There are some population left, and of course it's critically endangered in the wild. So we need to do something to help them. You know.
Yeah.
So firstly, do you know the difference between the male and the female?
Yeah. Yeah, it is in the snack, the color. The man one is had a red color, but for the women one, it has like a white or some kind of yellow.
So if you have to do a TikTok, what would you say in your messaging on how to protect this beautiful bird? We follow the same TikTok team, yeah? or Instagram, I think. Okay, wait, TikTok. Let's go with TikTok. Yeah. So what would you say?
Okay, so if I have a TikTok, I would like to say, okay, so guys, you have to see this animal. This animal is so beautiful. You never see anywhere beside us, Indonesia, Malaysia, and other things. Don't you want to see it? So we should have to raise awareness, and yeah, we should save them. Yeah, like some kind of that. And I'll see them. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Zira, all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amira, for the presentation. I like the PowerPoint, actually. I'm just wondering, you know, because just now we heard from Ehsan on the rhinoceros hornbill, right? And you are talking about helmeted hornbill. Can you tell us a bit about what is the uniqueness of the helmeted hornbill and how do you translate that to your model in terms of this, you know, interesting or this unique feature of helmeted hornbill?
Okay, so as I know, there is like 12 hornbills in Indonesia, kind of 12 hornbills, and they have different things between them. And the most unique thing of this helmeted hornbill is this most red cascade, because for the Bernese, the before of hornbill, it doesn't look like this. They were like going up, and it's just like this. It's like I don't know how to say it, but yeah. It looks like this, the red cascade one. I think that's the very different. And also this is the largest hornbill as I know from my searching. I think that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amira.
All right, thank you to the judges and thank you, Amira. Last but not least, we have Lynn Shaniza Hasna. Good luck.
Thank you, Tira. Okay, may I share my slide? Okay. Okay. Hello, to the judges and my fellow friends. My name is Lin Shaniza Asna binti Basharuddin from SMK P3 Aman. The endangered animal that I chose is Malayan tiger. What is the Malayan tiger? As its name implies, the Malayan tiger natural habitat is in the Malayan Peninsula of Southeast Asia, particularly in the southern of central parts of the Malay Peninsula and southern parts of Thailand. Its scientific name is Panthera tigris jacksoni. Next, the Malayan tiger is one of the smallest tigers of all the subspecies. Adults only weigh around 120 kilograms, while females are slightly lighter and an average of 100 kilograms. The males reach about 235 centimeters from head to tails, while females are approximately 2 meters long. As with all other tiger subspecies, the Malayan tiger is a carnivore and an accomplished hunter. They generally feast on wild boar, deer, and the sun bear. If there are baby elephants that are weak, sick, or otherwise vulnerable, they will also seize the opportunity to capture one of these. The tiger may only make a kill once every 3 or 4 days, so whereas killed prey is likely to eat as much of it as possible in one meal. Next, the Malayan tiger lives for between 15 and 20 years. They are mammals, which means that they give birth to live young after a gestation period of about 3.5 months. Usually, about 3 or 4 cubs are born. Tigers are solitary creatures and will not usually be found hunting or living in packs. The cubs will stay with their mother until they are about 18 months old, when they will break away and live independently. Number 2, why is Malayan tiger considered endangered? Let's see. With less than 200 tigers out in the wild, losing the Malayan tiger means losing Malaysia's symbol of national pride and identity. According to the IUCN Red List, there are between 80 and 120 breeding adults left. There are 2 leading major causes of Malayan tiger decline. First, habitat loss and fragmentation. These are leading causes that can bring prey shortages, resulting in the decline in tigers' number in the wild. Tigers typically have a larger home range, but with the current rate of deforestation and urbanization, they are being forced to retreat in fragmented patches. Being such a solitary animal, the Malayan tiger is forced into smaller and smaller habitat. When the tigers encroach on the land now occupied by humans, sometimes killing pets or livestock in a desperate search for food, they are often killed by the humans out of fear or to protect their livestock. Second threat to the surviving Malayan tiger population is illegal poaching and hunting for its body part. Demand for their body parts is used for the traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, market, which attracts poachers mostly from outside of Malaysia and set up encampment deep in the rainforest where they hunt the tigers with snares. Here's the good news though. At the moment, Malayan tigers are receiving aid from an unexpected source, the coronavirus. Because Malayan tiger poachers tend to come from other nations, coronavirus are actually giving the population a little bit of a break. Next, how do we protect Malayan tiger? First, the demands need to stop and the supply has to be cut off. The former will take time, but the latter can be done now by putting more boots on the ground, especially with support from law enforcement agencies. With local law enforcement, Malaysia's Department of Wildlife and National Parks, and other conservation groups, these organizations should set up patrols to detect poaching camps and offer support and education to assist with the prosecution of wildlife crime. They did actually, with the help from Panthera and the Woodland Park Zoo from the United States. Lastly, you too can join in the efforts to save the Malayan tiger by donating, volunteering, or just reading and spreading news and awareness about the importances of tigers to our planet. Next, move on. I'm going to tell you about the materials I used to make my Malayan tiger, which is used cardboard and plastic bags, aluminum foil, plastic bottles, brush of a broom, permanent marker, cellophane tape, and old newspaper. For tools, I use a 30 cm ruler for measuring and a pair of scissors. These are some of the photos I took while building the frames. That's the 4 legs. For the paws, I use aluminum foil to make it. After that, we have the pictures. This is my teachers, Ponavisa and I decided to name him Aman. So this is Aman. I call it Aman. I wrap it with orange plastic and draw the stripe with permanent marker. Lastly, we have the size of Aman. The length is 43 cm, while width is 27 cm. Height is 30 cm. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Lynn. What a beautiful presentation. Mr. Andrew, what do you think about the presentation?
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is a good way to end. Thank you very much. So it looks like the Malayan tiger is seeing the last 1 or 2 more generations in a while. Yeah. So unfortunately, we may lose it in the next 20 years or 30 years. Yeah. So that's why it's very important to, I mean, the days to protect it, I think, is almost over. And we have to rely on actions taken today, today. We can't wait tomorrow or whatever it is. We have to do something about it today. And that's why it's good that this competition raises a lot of these issues, a lot of this awareness, so that the young people can influence their parents and influence people around them, the world over, through their e-media and so on, how valuable and how special the Malayan tiger is. It's our very own breed of Malayan tiger. Yeah, it's our own tiger. Unfortunately, it's not well. Do you know whether tigers are found in Borneo? Then?
Borneo.
In East Malaysia?
I'm not sure.
Unfortunately, the Malayan tiger doesn't cover. It's not found in Borneo Island. So but it still encompasses and it is our crest, yeah, the country's crest. So it's very important that we keep to it, not because it's just a symbol, because it's the highest predator, yeah, in our rainforest. So it needs to be protected, because without it, a lot of things are going to just fall apart, yeah, dominoes effect. Yeah. So thank you. I mean, credit to your work. The PowerPoint is excellent. Do you know, while researching and when you're doing your legs, I saw the legs is very interesting. Are the front legs large? Are the feet bigger? The paws bigger in the front or at the back?
Mine is bigger at the front.
Show us all the legs, all 4. The feet, the paws.
The paws at the front.
Yeah. Can you show us the paws?
Oh.
Are they the same size, the front and the back? Is that accurate?
I don't think so.
You know, so why didn't you do anything? Okay, thank you, but at least you know, yeah. And when it goes into your design, since you researched the Malayan tiger, you need to be very specific about the shapes, yeah. Okay, but thank you. I think it's a beautiful piece that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll put this in. Yeah, thank you so much, Lynn. I think, yeah, it's nice to end it with the Malayan tiger. It's such an animatic and a keystone species that we need to, really put our emphasis, especially in the context of Malaysia. I'm just wondering, what is unique about the Malayan tiger, and how do you, sort of, same question as before with the participant before. How do you, connect that to your the design, other than the paw that you have to consider, but other features? Is it the stripes?
In my research, when I search differences between other tigers and Malayan tigers. I only saw the weight, the size of Malayan tiger, which
I
is
see.
smaller.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it's difficult for you to, represent that in your model. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a beautiful one. Another question, because we have it's such a a pressing activism that we have to do now in terms of conserving the tigers. If you have your friends here, your young friends here, if they say to you, Lynn, how do we volunteer to conserve the tiger? What can we do now? What would you advise them?
As a teenager, I think the best thing to do is spread awareness. Maybe we can actually I choose Malayan tiger because I saw this on Twitter. They post like our Malayan tiger is critical endangered, and oh wow, and I retweeted, and I saw at the comment everyone's like, we have to save them, and then they have the donation outlet, and then a lot of them donate to them. So I think we have to spread the news in our social media, such as Instagram, Twitter, something like that.
Okay, yeah, looking forward to see your tweets and your probably your
Yeah,
TikToks.
sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
I think all the judges have asked the questions that I wanted to, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much to the judges, and thank you, Lynn. All the models presented today looked wonderful, and I'm really impressed on how amazing they turned out. To proceed, I'd like to invite the judges to say a few final words. Mr. Andrew, could you please begin?
Sorry, thank you very much. I think the quality has been really, really good. I learned a lot. I've been doing this for 24 years, being a naturalist and a guide, and also running my own environmental group. And it's always refreshing to hear from your voice, the young ones especially, a different take on what it looks like and the profile, and of course coming up with a beautiful model of all these creatures. They're all beautiful, very nice. Yeah. I also want you to just remember that at some point there's a phone number to call, a wildlife hotline number, 019-356-4194, 019-356-4194. I think later the secretary can send it. This is a hotline number to call in case you see people involved in poaching of any animals. Yeah, I think that's one of the most important tools we have. Communication. Put in your Instagrams, put in all your feeds, and tell people how you can take active steps to make sure your neighbors don't go out hunting birds or any wildlife, in that sense. So every little bit will help. So from today's, the stuff I saw was actually amazing. I'm very, very lucky and blessed to be to be invited to sit in the panel of esteemed colleagues. It is actually my privilege, and I really learned a lot. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. Dr. Zida, how was your experience today?
Yeah, I had a wonderful time. This is my first time judging a school level, competition. It's just refreshing to hear from, young voices and, the kind of excitement that you guys have about, about wildlife conservation. So we see a lot of hope, when we talk about sustainable development and all that, about future generation. You guys are the future leaders, and we look forward to your to your leadership, not only at this age, but also in the future. Secondly, I really appreciate the international nature of this session. I'm really, it's great to learn about, wildlife from, other countries other than Malaysia. So I hope you guys will continue this exchange and this interaction because, when we talk about conservation, it's not only within our own national boundaries, but it's also, international effort as well. And finally, I was just thinking, what will happen to all those beautiful models that you have made? I hope the committee will, think about doing something with it and, talking about, making TikTok videos. Probably you guys can use it as a material for your social media engagement. It's just fun to use some props, to make it much more interesting. So I just want to wish all of you, it was really fun being with you all today, and, all the best in whatever that you do. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for sharing, Dr. Zida. How about you, Ms. Amalina?
Sure. So I think I have 3 points to say. The first one is I appreciate the creativity that is within, and the wealth of creativity and knowledge that is within this room. And you might think that the judges might have things figured out, but it's actually personally I learned a lot from this conversation and this competition. So thank you so much for all the things that you have taught me today. The second thing is I also appreciate the diversity that we have within this group. I mean, I think it's also important that if we want to, save, we talk about having one earth, and that's essentially what it is. We should not be bound by the boundaries, like the physical limitations that we have within our borders, but rather work together, get to know each other. So I would implore all of the participants here to get to know one another and just really figure out, how you can foster these meaningful friendships that you have. I mean, personally, as someone who goes through a lot of international exchanges, having a lot of friends from all across the world helps you in expanding your mindset, and also just widening your horizon. So and the last one is I really appreciate the idealism, the hopefulness, and the optimism that I see in this room. And I hope that you continue being idealists, continue having hope, because within your hope, we have our hope in our future. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Amalina. Now we would like to ask the judges to stay on to discuss the winners. With that, we have come to the end of today's event. I hope that all of our participants, as well as our supporters, have enjoyed their time during this competition. On behalf of the Sales Organizing Committee, I would like to apologize if we have made any mistakes throughout the competition period. Be sure to tune in to our closing ceremony that we have planned for tomorrow. I hope to see all of you again. Please stick around for the photo session and have a great evening.
Good job. You guys should congratulate yourself, pat yourself in the back for all the hard work that you guys